welcome back to Reading Creepypasta. Just me, Mason, and June today, although Arthur may show up later in this episode. I can't say for certain. Nothing is ever certain here.
Spooky surprise.
Ooh.
Oh.
Oh. Well, anyway. But yes. Reading Creepypasta, we're back at it. We're here for episode 2. Yes. And I don't think there's anything else to discuss other than the fact that we should just hop into our first story tonight, yes?
Yep.
Yeah.
Alright.
Spare change. Spare change, ma'am.
Our first story for tonight is Squidward's suicide.
Are we even allowed to say that word?
I wonder if a father in this head would kill me.
Don't give a shit.
Squidward's. How do we TikTokify this?
Squidward's auto game end.
I
Squidward's
personally
game
refuse. I'm on strike from TikTokification.
Squidward's game end.
But yes, I do believe also we did waste enough time for the intro that we might be able to get away with it regardless. I think. Whoa. Anyway, who wants to start this one? Who wants to give this one its first words?
I started the last one, so...
Alright, Mason, do
I
you
can
want
do
me
it.
to?
Yeah.
Fair enough. You may begin.
Squidward's suicide. I just want to start off by saying that if you want an answer at the end, prepare to be disappointed. There isn't one. I was an intern at Nickelodeon Studio. Yippee! Unsolved mystery.
me when I start my story off with, if you want there to be a conclusion to this story, there won't be. It will just stop. You will not get a satisfying
just don't
ending.
give an answer.
Me when I not only don't put a satisfying ending to this story in any way, but I also tell you at the beginning I won't.
No, I'm channeling Arthur right now.
We gotta get some of the energy in there. Please proceed.
I was an intern at Nickelodeon Studios for a year in 2005 for my degree in animation. It wasn't paid, of course, most internships aren't, but it did have a perk beyond education.
Hooray! Capitalism!
To adults, it might not seem like a big one, but most kids at the time would go crazy over it. Since I worked directly with the editors and animators, I got to view new episodes days before they aired.
I'll
get right to it.
Me when I'm direct part of child labour.
Also, no, you didn't. You got the fucking tea for the people who actually did see them.
I'll get right to it without giving too many unnecessary details. They'd very recently made the SpongeBob movie. The entire staff was somewhat sapped of creativity, so it took them longer to start up the season. But the delay lasted longer for more upsetting reasons. There was a problem with the series' full premiere that set everyone and everything back several months. Me and 2 other interns were in the editing room, along with the lead animators and sound editors, for the final cut of an episode. We'd received the copy that was supposed to be Fear of a Krabby Patty and gathered around the screen to watch. Now, given that the final cut isn't final yet, animators often put a little mock title card at the beginning. It's sort of an inside joke for us, with phony, oftentimes lewd titles being used, such as How Sex Doesn't Work instead of Rockabye Bible, in which SpongeBob and Patrick adopt a sea scallop. Nothing particularly funny, just work-related chuckles. I'd love to do that. I'd love to give fake names to things.
Me when I make a sex joke in front of a 17-year-old.
Haha! They said the word sex. This joke brought to you by the people who would go on to make Has Been Hotel. I don't know if the author of the story went on to have anything to do with that. I hope not. For this author's sake.
Actually,
I'm going to scroll to the bottom of the screen. I'm going to scroll to the bottom of the story at the end, and I'm just going to see written by Vivsy Pop. I'm gonna full shit myself in my chair. That'll be the scariest thing that happens tonight.
I was gonna say, fucking No, they actually went on to whatever the creepypasta equivalent of Has Been Hotels, like Squidward suicide movie.
Oh my god, no. That's upsetting to imagine. That's upsetting to imagine that people will be like, yeah, no, we do this again.
Yeah.
Alistair's auto game end.
Oh god.
That's a character in that, right?
Yeah.
I don't know anything about Husband Hotel.
Good. Good for you. That's a win.
That's a win. I think it's a win for most people, I think. Anyone who doesn't
anyway.
understand.
Yes.
So when we saw the title card Squidward's suicide, we didn't think it more than a morbid joke. One of the other interns did a small throat laugh at it. The episode started with the happy-go-lucky music playing.
This is on the same scale. I will just say this is on the same scale. How sex doesn't work, Squidward suicide? Yeah, same guess.
Yeah.
Normal.
The one thing I've always been confused, what the fuck is a throat laugh?
It's sort of like a... I know, that was a snort that I did. Yeah, it's just like kind of a... like, you kind of don't let the sound come all the way out your mouth.
Oh, like a...
Yeah, that kind of
so
thing.
what
like
you mean... No, what you're... no, okay, so a throat laugh is... type shit. What do you... What?
Anime character type sound.
Me when I am in a room with my romantic interest and I am trying to seem aloof and standoffish.
I would personally refer to it as a closed mouth laugh. A sort of like a... If I were to write it, I would say the character hummed out a laugh.
Yeah, that's why. This is the reason I assume throat laugh is... It's like a laugh that's really far back in the throat. I don't know. This shit sucks.
Who the fuck knows?
The episode started with the happy-go-lucky music playing as normal. The story began with Squidward practicing his clarinet, hitting a few sour notes like normal. We hear SpongeBob laughing outside. Just that same impression of SpongeBob laughing.
Getting sort of like an audio drama experience going at the moment.
Squidward stops, yelling at him to keep it down as he has a concert that night and needs to practice. SpongeBob says okay when he goes to see Sandy with Patrick.
Okay.
SpongeBob, can you keep it down? I've got a concert tonight that I need to practice for.
SpongeBob, can you keep it down? Mason's trying in a rain. SpongeBob, can you keep it down? Mason's trying in a rain.
Who the fuck is that?
I don't fucking know. So this is why the episode wasn't aired. It wasn't even the profanity, it's because no one fucking knows who the hell Mason
details
is.
From 20 years in the future.
No one knows who he is.
The bubble splash screen comes up and we see the ending of Squidward's concert. This is when things began to seem off. While playing, a few frames repeat themselves, but the sound doesn't. It's supposed to be synced with the animation, so yes, that's not common. But when Squidward stops playing, the sound finishes as if the skip never happened. There's a slight murmuring in the crowd before they begin to boo him. Not the normal cartoon booing that's very common in the show. Mind you, you could very clearly hear malice in it. Squidward's in full frame and looks visibly afraid. The shot goes to the crowd with SpongeBob in centre frame. He too is booing, which is very much unlike him. I've read what happens next. That is the honest thing, though. What's odd is that everyone has hyper-realistic eyes.
Oh, it's the beginning of...
There it is. Details, clearly not shots of real people's eyes. But something a bit more real than CGI. The pupils were red, hyper-realistic red blood eyes. Some of us looked at each other, obviously confused. But since we weren't the writers, we didn't question its appeal to children yet. Oh yeah, very appealing.
I love how it's framed as which he would never do. It very much reminds me of Cartman using any old phones.
He would not say that. SpongeBob would not boo Squidward. I'll put this desk into stand mode. I gotta be able to.
Yeah, he definitely never say that. Yeah. Let's completely forget about the time when he was like, "Hooray! Love how you did that, especially with all those wrong notes you did."
But that's not booing. No, that's not booing. That's not booing. That's him just,
My favourite SpongeBob moment is where Patrick knocks on SpongeBob's door and he goes, "Go away! I never want to see you again!" And then it does a bass boosted version of that. I still see your shadows in my room.
Yeah, that thing that happened in the real series, yeah.
Yeah, that happened in the show.
Happened in the show, didn't you remember?
Yeah, that actually happened in the show. I don't know what
you the audience, don't you remember this?
Do you remember
Rare
when they
licensed
played Juice
music.
WRLD?
Your reality is wrong. Anyway.
Reality can be anything I want.
Juice WRLD existed in 2005, or whenever that episode
is
aired.
still alive.
That was what Thanos snapped his fingers for.
Thanos snapped his fingers so Juice WRLD could come back.
Specifically
The shot
in
goes to
2000,
Squidward.
whatever.
Yeah. The shot goes to Squidward sitting on the edge of his bed, looking very forlorn. The view out of his porthole windows of a night sky, so it isn't very long after the concert. The unsettling part is that, at this point, there's no sound. Literally zero sound. Not even the feedback from the speakers in the room. It's as if the speakers were turned off, though their statuses showed them working perfectly. Squidward just sits there in silence, blinking for about 30 seconds, then starts to sob softly. He puts his hands, tentacles, over his eyes and cries quietly for a full minute more.
He puts his hands, tentacles.
Yeah, just to make sure.
Squidward.
Yeah. I didn't know you were guest starring in the latest season of Dimension 20.
I barely get that joke, but like...
Dimension 20 fans will
what's
know.
your last name? Testicles!
Oh
This was
no,
just a
he
really
his
wild
last name is
YouTube poop.
Testicles.
This was just a really dark YouTube poop that's happening.
Yep. All the while, a sound in the background is very gradually growing from nothing to barely audible. It sounds like a slight breeze through a forest. The screen slowly begins to zoom in on his face. By slowly, I mean that it's only noticeable if you look at shots 10 seconds apart side by side. His sobbing gets louder and more full of hurt and anger. The screen then twitches a bit, as if it twists in on itself for a split second before going back to normal. The wind through the trees sound gets louder and more severe, as if a storm is brewing somewhere. The eerie part is that this sound, and Squidward's sobbing, sounded real.
Sopping.
Sorry, slip of the tongue.
Me went, no.
He's just
Squidward's sopping wet cat. He's a
whole
sopping wet
other
cat.
now.
No,
He
poor
was.
guy.
I mean, he is under the water, so it does make sense.
I mean, yeah, I guess all of them fucking sopping, I guess. All of them.
Except for Sandy, when in her house.
Yeah. Or indeed, most of the characters when in Sandy's house.
Yeah. As we know from I Don't Need It.
Yeah.
It was like it wasn't coming from the speakers, but that the speakers themselves were holes the sound was travelling through from the other side. As good a sound as the studio likes to have, they don't have the equipment to be able to produce audio of that quality.
Do we want to switch narrators?
I'll do this one paragraph and then we'll switch.
Okay. Okay.
Below the sound of the wind and sobbing, very faintly audible, something sounded like laughing. It came at odd intervals and never lasted more than a second, so you had a hard time pinning it. We watched this episode twice, so pardon me if things sound too specific, but I've had time to think about them. After 30 seconds
the
of
automatic defense about the hyper-specific times.
Yeah.
It lasted
After 30
exactly
seconds of this-
27.48 seconds, but trust me, I watched it twice. I know.
Yeah.
I'm a
The
different
screen
guy.
blurred and twitched violently, and something flashed over it as if a single frame was replaced.
Alright, I'll take over from here. June, reading ahead slightly, you might want to hop out for a hot minute, and then I'll just send a dot when we're all clear.
Oh no, I've read Squidward too.
Or you're prepped. You're prepped.
This shit is so fucking... I listened to this as a child, so I already know.
My
God.
gotcha. Man, you really had your standards lowered.
You did this instead of watching films.
Damn!
You were
Okay,
raised
you
on
say-
YouTube
okay.
and Squidward suicide.
That's
okay, I
that's
was raised
awful.
on YouTube and like more specifically like YouTube creepypastas from when I was like 10, 11 years old.
Yeah, kind of.
Down here I was watching Death
like-
Battle.
Oh, I was also watching Death Battle.
Ah, okay.
I was a very multifaceted child.
It can be both. It can be both. I think we all watched Death Battle, aka Environmental Kill the Show.
No, we
As it
watched
was
it
back
until
in the day.
that started happening.
Yeah, that's fair.
There was a good, 20 episodes where that hadn't happened yet.
Yet. Oh, Metal Sonic could absolutely have won that death battle on his fucking own. The lead animation editor paused and rewound frame by frame. What we saw was horrible. It was a still photo of a dead child. He couldn't have been more than 6. His face was mangled and bloodied, one eye dangling over it, popped. He was naked down to his underwear, his stomach crudely cut open and his entrails splayed out beside him. He was laying on some pavement that was probably a road. Yeah, I mean, I feel like, man...
It was just pavement next to a dirt path.
Nah. It was actually a wall. It was a wall. The most upsetting part was that there was a shadow of the photographer, but no crime tape, evidence tags or markers, and the angle was completely off for a shot designed to be evidence. It would seem they were the person responsible for the child's death. We were, of course, mortified, but pressed on, hoping that this was a sick joke. You didn't call the police there and then. You didn't go, well, this is a crime, is what's happened. Let's call the cops. The screen flipped back to Squidward, still sobbing, louder than before. Half of his body in the frame. There was now what appeared to be blood running down his face from his eyes. The blood was also done in hyper-realistic style, looking as if you'd get it on your fingers if you touched the screen. Whoa! The wind sounded now as if it were that of a gale blowing through the forest. There were even snapping sounds, like of branches.
Yeah, branches are the only things that snap.
Yes. The laughing, a deep baritone, lasted for longer intervals and came more frequently. After about 20 seconds, the screen twisted again and showed a single frame photo. The editor was reluctant to go back. We all were, but he knew he had to. This time, the photo appeared to be of a little girl, no older than the first child. She was laying on her stomach. Her berettes in a pool of blood next to her. Her left eye was damaged in the same way as the boy, and she was naked except her underpants. Her entrails were piled on top of her. Oh, fucking
delightful.
Yeah, wonderful, grand. I love how this is all very necessary.
I love how CP is just actually.
I love how, again, this is definitely necessary to the story. We definitely need this to be in the story. There's clearly no other way this could be made scary other than dead children.
Dead naked children.
Dead naked children described in
fucking
detail.
Horrible.
Of course, clearly.
I'll reserve.
We'll get to this at the end of the story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Entrails piled on top of her.
Actually, I'm glad Arthur's
crude
not here.
cut along her back. Yes.
Yeah.
Again, the body was on the street, and the photographer's shadow was visible. Very similar in size and shape to the first. I had to choke back vomit, and one intern, the only female in the room, ran out.
Yeah, just because we had to know.
One, we had to know, and two, you had to say the only female in the room.
Yeah, just to hammer home that this was 2005.
Just to hammer home
there wouldn't be more than one if it was.
Yeah, and also just to hammer home that the author was a fucking Redditor or some shit.
Fucking.
About 5 seconds after this second photo played, Squidward went silent. All sound cut out, like it did when the scene started. He put his tentacles down.
For a bit of brevity, the first time we saw tentacles, I immediately hit this.
Yeah, my boy! My goats!
Fucking.
Oh, incredible.
Adventure. I fucking love Legend of Adventures.
Goated. Oh, Arthur's coming online.
Oh, Arthur's here. If that's the thing that summons Arthur, I'm gonna fucking laugh.
Legends of Aventris, I am approaching at a rapid speed.
He's gonna come in and be like, what the fuck
he's like
is
running down the hallway like Foxy.
He put his tentacles down, and his eyes were now
Keeps his
done
head
in
around the box, he does his
hyperrealism,
adventures.
like the others were at the beginning of the episode. They were bleeding, bloodshot, and pulsating. He just stared at the screen, as if watching the viewer. After about 10 seconds, he started sobbing, this time not covering his eyes. The sound was piercing and loud. The most fear-inducing thing of all was that his sobbing was mixed with screams. Tears and blood
That
were
would be
dripping
being
down
scared.
his face at a heavy rate. The wind sound came back, and so did the deep voice laughing. This time, with a still photo that lasted for a good 5 frames. The animator was able to stop it on the 4th and backed up. This time, the photo was of a boy about the same age. The scene was different. His entrails were being pulled out from his stomach, wounded by a large hand. The right eye was popped and dangling, blood trickling down it. The animator proceeded. The next frame was different, but we couldn't tell how.
You couldn't. What
Then
do you
it
mean you
wasn't
couldn't tell
different.
How? You've been so bloody descriptive with all the others, and yet this one you're like, oh no, I can't tell what was different about this.
He continued to the next image, and it was the same thing. He then went back to the first and played them quicker, and I lost it. I vomited on the floor. The animation and sound editors gasping at the screen. The 5 frames were not 5 different photos. They were frames from a video. We saw the hand slowly lift out the guts, and we saw the kid's eyes focus on it. We even saw 2 frames of the kid beginning to blink.
How did both of the kids? How did both of the kids' eyes focus on it when one of them was out of his head?
Fucking.
Don't think about it. Don't think about it.
Don't think about it. Don't think about it.
Scary.
Scary. But Mason. We're about to meet the height of horror. Listen to this. I'm gonna do the scariest thing anyone's ever heard. Blood, entrails, organs, blood, eye, blood, hyper-realistic, blood, organs, entrails, blood.
I'm not going to sleep tonight because of that.
I can't believe it. Yeah?
Because I'll be so
I am
angry.
going to sleep tonight, but that's because I'm intoxicated.
I'm gonna sleep tonight, but that's because I'm desensitized.
I just took a swig of water because I do not have alcohol and I've never tried it.
That's fair.
Well, that's not
drank all
strictly
my
true.
water earlier.
I did try some cider on my 13th birthday and spat it out because it burned my tongue.
Yeah, that's fair. I gotta
It'd be like
introduce
that.
you to the good shit. You gotta try the good shit. At least once.
I thought you said the meat kit. I was like, what
The
the
meat
fuck is
kit. The meat. What's the meat kit? What's it
It's a
kit
charcuterie
for?
board.
Oh, and Arthur has gone offline again, so he has clearly
Yeah.
realised what we're doing and opted out.
He didn't want to hear about the meat kit.
He didn't give 2 fucks about the meat kit. Oh, Christ. The lead sound
Oh,
editor
God,
told us to stop.
I just thought of the worst thing ever.
What?
Do you want me to say it?
Go
You don't have
on!
to censor it or
Go
anything,
on.
but it's just so fucking stupid.
Mason, we've just read 3 detailed descriptions of child gore. This will be better than that.
Right, I'm gonna say it. Here's what I was gonna say. I showed you my meat kit. Please respond.
Oh.
Now you see why I was reluctant.
Nah, that's good. That's good. Nah, it's good. We keep it.
Specifically imagining the. No, never mind. I wasn't specifically imagining that.
Do I want to know?
He said,
No, I can't
showed
even
you
remember
my
now.
meat kit. Please respond.
Oh boy.
I saw an image in my mind's eye, but I can't piece together what it was. It flashed there for a second and now it's gone.
That's
Bro
unfortunate.
had his own version of a fucking cognito hazard flash in his head.
I have terrible short-term memory.
The lead sound editor told us to stop. He had to call in the creator to see this. Mr. Hillenberg arrived within about 15 minutes. Rest in peace, by the way.
Oh, it's Steven.
He was confused as to
Say
why
like I've never read this story before.
Yeah, also you say like you are on first name basis with Steven Hillenberg, creator of SpongeBob.
You don't know.
I mean, I don't, but like, I figured there'd be a story of some kind there if you were.
The Ouija board sessions go crazy, yo.
Oh, for a moment I was going to be like, no,
Ouija
June's
board.
actually in SpongeBob.
The Ouija board sessions go crazy. Oh, God. Ooh.
That is very funny. I'm sorry I didn't have a bigger reaction to that.
Oh, did you ask him about that one analog horror? What you thought
No,
of
I
that
didn't
shit?
actually. I was actually planning to bring up that analog horror.
Yeah. I beat you to it.
Damn. Whatever. Anyway, let's get to the end of this show.
Mr. Hillenberg arrived within about 15 minutes. He was confused as to why he had been called down, so the editor just continued the episode. Once the next few frames were shown, all screaming and sound again stopped. Squidward was just staring at the viewer, his face taking up the full frame for about 3 seconds. The shot quickly panned out. That deep voice said, who wants to take the voice?
Do it!
It's SpongeBob saying it. Do it!
And we saw a shotgun in Squidward's hands. He immediately puts some iron in his mouth and pulls the trigger. Realistic blood and brain matter splatters
Real
at
nice
the
of
wall
you,
behind him. Yeah. And he's bed and he flies back with force. The last 5 seconds of the episode show his body on the bed, on its side, one eye dangling from what's left of his head above the floor, staring blankly at it. Then the episode ends. Mr. Hillenberg was obviously angry at this. He demanded to know what the hell was going on. Most people left the room at this point, so there was just a handful of us left to watch it again. Viewing the episode twice only served to imprint the entirety of it in my mind and caused me horrible nightmares. I'm sorry I stayed. The only theory we could think of was that the file had been edited by someone in the chain from the drawing studio to here. The CTO was called in to find out when it had happened. Analysis of the file did show it was mixed with new material. However, the timestamp of the change was a mere 24 seconds before we began viewing it. All equipment involved was examined for foreign software and hardware, as well as glitches, such as if the timestamp was showing us the wrong time, but everything checked out fine. We didn't know what had happened, and to this day, nobody does. I've just noticed the credited to user/suicide Squidward from Reddit.
Yeah.
Oh, this is from Reddit.
Well, I mean, okay, June.
I didn't remember it was from Reddit.
Motherfucker called the only woman in the room a female. I'm surprised you didn't put 2 and 2 together, honestly.
I kind of forgot. I just forgot. Okay.
That just happened. Anyway, there was an investigation due to the nature of the photos, but nothing came of it. No child scene was identified, and no clues were gathered from the data involved, nor physical cues from the photos. I never believed in unexplainable phenomena before, but now that I've had something happen to me and can't prove anything about it beyond anecdotal evidence, I think twice about things. You should have thought twice about writing this story. Speaking of, what do we think?
Yeah.
Oh,
no.
fucking God. The thing is, I watched some breakdown Squidward suicide,
Yeah.
a couple months back, I think. I think it was what's his name? Hold on, if I put in a different creepypasta on, I'll find him. Davis Morgan, I'm pretty sure, did a video.
Yeah.
By the way, if you want to watch someone who's good at critically breaking down this shit, Davis Morgan.
Yeah.
He does really good videos.
See, the difference between us and Davis Morgan is pulling these things apart piece by piece to show you why things do and don't work. We're going in here and we're just sort of like hitting it with a Ford Focus at 90 mile an hour.
Yeah.
And just you see what's and we're just breaking it.
Yeah, because he compared Squidward Suicide to Kendall Cove.
Which is a hell of a disparaging comparison.
Oh.
Even though Squidward Suicide is already bad, comparing it to something actually good makes it look even worse.
So
That's rude.
here's what I'm gonna actually say about Squidward Suicide.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't need the CP
the-
gore in it. I like genuinely.
Thoroughly
Well,
unnecessary.
like, person who came up, who like crafted this, what the fuck is actually wrong with you?
Well, they were a Reddit user in 2010, so...
Okay, true.
So that should explain.
I choose to believe
that's all you need to say.
You know what?
That's all you need to say.
You know
That's
what?
that's
Actually,
a problem
I'm
in
gonna
itself.
say it. I'm gonna say it right now. I choose to believe this person was a member of like a subreddit like r/jailbait.
Probably.
Because
See, another thing about the difference between us and Davis Morgan is Davis Morgan is not here to personally insult the authors of the stories. We are. We are when they're someone like you/Suicide Squidward from Reddit.
I know the thread's probably gone by this point, but I really hope there was at least someone in the comments of this thing being like, "What the actual fuck is wrong with you?"
Yeah, although
I hope someone.
Yeah, so and specifically went, hey, so what's with the naked children in the story? Why did you do that? What compelled you to put that into the story?
Yeah.
Presumably left unanswered and or banned.
Like, okay, here's how I'll put it. If it didn't have the CP gore in it,
It wouldn't be good.
this would be for one, market improvement, but it'd be a market improvement in that it'd go from complete dog shit to just dog shit.
Yeah, from total dog shit to
We'll get a number
okay,
score.
it's kind of normal, but there's some dog shit on it.
It would be a solid 3 out of 10.
As opposed to the negative infinity that it is.
As opposed to the no out of 10 that it is.
Yeah.
Because no.
Just no.
It also
And
makes
I've-
me wonder. Sorry, I've got a lot of
no.
thoughts.
No, please.
You say, just let me know.
Yeah, it also makes me wonder, going back, how many of these creepypastas that I knew as a child, like, I just completely ignored some of the content. Like, I just didn't even pick up on it because
it wasn't going to be on your radar, was it? You know, as like a 12, 13-year-old, you're not going to recognize that what happened here is like, hey, maybe why did you put that here? What was the meaning? What purpose did it serve? You know, you're not going to really
as
recognize
well as
that.
how much of this was censored for YouTube.
Yeah.
Because a lot of my consumption of creepypastas was through YouTube. I know that much. So
Well,
I'm
how much
wondering-
got censored for the regular readings?
Yeah, I think at least though I forget who I watched that initially did it. I don't think it was Moha. I don't think Moha ever covered Squidward Suicide, or if he did, he censored it. But I know for a fact that had to have been censored out.
Or if
But
it,
also just how much shit we let slide in the 2010s
yeah.
for the sake of sheer edge.
Yeah. I feel like, unfortunately, we may be finding more of that. Maybe not today, but definitely throughout the series.
Oh, yeah, we'll find out. I know we will.
I mean, all of these were late 2000s, early 2010s.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
So,
I'm done
yes.
now. My thoughts are
That's
done.
very fair. Do we
I'm
have
back
any
in a second.
wider context for this story that we want to bring up? Or is...
Why do you think I did research into this? Fuck no.
Good point. I know there are some recreations of most of the video, of course, minus the fucking wildly unnecessary images. And most of them are bad, as far as I'm aware, because they are drawing from
research for this thing. My research for this thing was literally just remembering what the hell even happened in it, and that was through watching that Davis Morgan video.
That's fair. All right.
Which once again,
yeah, Davis
What's
Morgan.
Davis
Do check out Davis Morgan. Good shit. Solid.
You know what?
Mason, do you have anything else you want to say? Yeah, I will.
Go.
Nah.
Thanks.
Yeah, fair enough. Nothing else more to say about this. We will move on to our next story for tonight.
Sheesh. There always seems to be a lot of police around when you don't need them.
Our next story for tonight is Sonic Death Game. We decided beforehand June was going to take this one, so June. You can read the whole damn thing. It's all there.
Woohoo! Yippee!
Get one story all to yourself. You may proceed. This was apparently a serious one. This was allegedly a serious attempt at a
You've got to read this very seriously.
You've got to be full serious.
Of course.
Stone face.
Of course.
Stone face.
It's,
Very serious. It's a very serious story.
Yeah, I understand. As a child, I loved Sonic games. Every show, game, plush. But after this incident, I sold everything to do with Sonic. Let me get to the story. It was a cold day in February when I was cleaning out the garage, and I found a small box. My first sense was to open it, but I wish I never did. It was filled with all my Sonic games, but there was an extra. It was called Sonic Death. Weird name, but I didn't care. I put it on my computer. But it wasn't at all like I remembered, because I apparently remembered it now.
Also, I put it on my computer, not in it. I just sort of rested it on
Yeah,
top
just
of the
put it
computer,
on top.
and then the game happened.
It was black. And then it had Tails crying hysterically next to a pool of blood. Sonic came up behind him and said,
I know, but we have to move on. I miss him too.
and Tails kept crying. Sonic came closer to Tails, and this was when it got serious. Sonic punched
Tails punched Sonic in the face. Wrong way.
Tails. Child abuse card.
It was a younger child to an older child.
Yeah,
because
the
both
child,
of them
the
are
child's
underage.
abusing
The child was Sonic.
Tails punched Sonic in the face, pinned him to the ground, took a knife, and slit Sonic's throat.
And then rings popped out of him, and he was fine.
Hang on. Let it roll. Let it ride.
2 months later, a card came up. I moved Tails around a bit. Some words at the bottom said, "You must get away from the cops."
Okay, right.
There always seems to be a lot of police around when you don't need them.
There always seems to be no police around when you do need them, like when you're being stabbed to death by an 8-year-old.
Sonic says.
Why do I want to put on a
Hey
Jesse
kids,
Pinkman
if someone
voice
tries
for
to
the rest
stab
of
you,
this?
go get the cops.
Why do I want to put on Jesse Pinkman voice?
Do it.
Get away from the
Fuck
cops.
it.
I was freaking out. No Sonic game would be this way. I was an innocent person, so for some dumb reason, I went towards the cops. Next to that Tails inside a prison with text saying, "You got me in jail, so I'll get you in hell."
Sorry, no. It'll get you in hell.
So
I
it'll
like
get
how
you in
Sonic
hell.
had a Sonic voice and Tails has a Jesse Pinkman voice.
Well, I didn't say the Tails setup.
There's just text.
Oh, no, okay,
Just
no, it could be
tags.
someone else. Could be Jesse Pinkman.
The next morning, I came out of my bedroom and it was gone, with fire painted on the walls, along with a note saying,
Fire paint.
What?
Fire. Okay, note saying. Note say, please. What did the note say?
with a note saying, "I said I'd put you in hell. Here you are. If you ever find this game, destroy it. No matter if you burn your house to do it. I'm writing this as my last request before I go to the asylum. Goodbye."
Well, we do know that Jesse Pinkman does play Sonic games.
He can't keep getting away with this.
We can't keep
Talking
getting
about
away with
Tails. Tails, the true villain of Breaking Bad.
it. So what did
Mr. White, I think I'm in love with you.
Tails. You're goddamn right.
So what did? So what did we think?
Mr. Brower.
So what did we think of Sonic Death Game, everybody?
Oh, very
This
sorry.
feels like if you
Serious story.
This feels like if you took Sonic.exe and put it through Google Translate 50 times.
For real, honestly.
Honestly, I'll say this much. I don't care if the person said this was a serious creepypasta. I don't believe them.
I don't believe you.
This reminds me of those 2-sentence horror things you get on Reddit.
Yeah. Now, Editor Me, you can show the entire cultural context of this story, because for the entire time of this, I've had this screen cropped down a bit. If you could just uncrop it a little bit. Yeah, there you go. That's the whole context. That's it. One Hoodo Hoodlum's revenge video. And that's it. We just sort of found this.
We found this on the Trollpasta wiki, you know.
Well, yes, it's on the Trollpasta wiki.
Yeah.
You can always tell we're on the Trollpasta wiki because it's a little bit blue.
Yeah, we found, because it was like me and Alex found.
Yeah,
this
me
on
and June
Trollpasta
found
wiki.
this specifically when we were trying to fill out the list a bit.
We were just looking for like dumb shit. Like,
And we
to be
found
real,
it.
We were looking for. We found it. We definitely found it.
We found it.
Man, we could have put the Nostalgia Critic creepypasta on here.
No, I would have loved
Damn,
that.
we should have. We should have.
We should have done that.
We should have done
creepy,
that. I don't know why we
that
didn't.
was funny. That one
was
was
funny. I don't
actually
know.
funny.
I don't
Like,
know.
it was
I
a
thought this
bad
pretty funny.
creepypasta, but it was
I thought-
entertaining.
But hang on, I thought this was pretty funny.
And then Doug Walker
Oh
started
no,
Doug
this is
running
this is
towards me.
funny. This is funny. The Nostalgia Critic one I remember being just genuinely hilarious.
Full batshit, yeah.
Yeah.
Where it said a bad
think it was a
credit
lost
card and then
episode.
hyper-realistic blood eyes happened.
A hyper-realistic
bad credit
A
card?
hyper-realistic fucking back credit card. Yes!
Black credit card.
Well, it is
Yeah,
black. It's just got a bat symbol on it.
He said a back credit card, and then a hyper-realistic Doug Walker came out of my TV, just his head, and he ate me.
No, he was coming too quickly to be a Doug Walker. He was a Doug Runner.
Doug Sprinter. And with that, I think we shall move on to our next story for tonight.
It's me, the devil. I'm here to convince you to do sin.
Our next story for tonight is Username 666. YouTube is a remembered piece of history. Yeah, it really is.
Already.
Yeah.
One line in and you're like, hang on a second. What do you mean?
Nah. I know what they mean. And it is. Back then, in 2006, not much was known about it. Most of the community was just people uploading cat videos. But one particular user caused enough controversy to be recalled. Recalled? What do you mean, recalled?
What do you mean, recalled? Do you mean, like, YouTube was completely recalled? Do you mean, like, you're literally recalling their existence?
Do you mean you're just remembering it?
Like...
Okay, so what we're learning so far is...
Did you want to say remembered, but then realised you'd already
666.
used the word remembered?
Username 666, at this point, is just the fucking, like, Burger King Pokeball toy.
Oh.
If you know about that one.
I know about that one. Oh.
June, do you know
Is
about
that
it?
the one?
Way to use a reference that hit me where I felt it.
I don't think I actually know this one.
It was
basically
Burger King released a Pokeball toy where you could press a button and it would open into two completely separate halves. And a bunch of children ended up getting, like, I think a few of them did fully die from suffocation from putting the lower half of the Pokeball on, which happened to pretty much perfectly fit over the nose and mouth of a child.
And had no holes in it.
And had no holes in it.
Oh.
So they
So
just
Yeah,
suffocated.
I know about that.
Yeesh.
Ooh, I didn't know about
And
that.
so it got recalled.
Yeah, I can imagine.
The channel posted a bunch of gore porn and blood fetish material, earning them a ban for violating the site's terms of service.
Damn,
Such
they posted
material
with
can...
suicide.
Oh, real! Such material can still be accessed, however. That... Saddeningly, that is very, that is very, very relevant to YouTube's current moderation system.
Yeah.
One day, a person on YouTube posted their experience with the channel from a defunct blogging website.
What? Okay.
Real. You can find me on top of... No, I worked for YouTube during 2006. I was a busy employee and uploaded videos there too. What I didn't know was why some of the YouTube moderators had suspended a particularly troublesome account. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious.
What?
It was particularly troublesome, mate. I was more so wondering why I wasn't allowed to visit the page rather than what was on it. Eventually, one of the other moderators handed me a piece of paper with a written link on it. He then pleaded me not to ask about the secret username ever again.
Oh my god. So
Why didn't they just tell you no?
No.
Literally.
Why didn't they just say
Literally.
no? Why didn't they just say, okay, you're asking this same question a lot.
Stop asking about it or you're fired.
Please shut up or we will fire you.
Literally. Oh my god.
We are trying
yeah.
to ban this user for a reason. Easy.
Like, I know, like, obviously, a lot of this has
Or even just like,
a lot of
well,
these stories are like suspension of disbelief and shit like that.
But it's like there's suspension of
It gets to a
disbelief, and then there's, well, that doesn't fucking matter. Well, that
There's
doesn't
suspension
even
of common sense.
mean anything. That's dumb, you know? Because it's like, even then, they very easily could and probably would have gone, yeah, they're violating our terms of service by posting a bunch of gore porn and blood fetish material, which we don't allow. End of story.
Just in case
That's
you didn't
the
know
story.
that.
Oh, okay. Gets back to work. The story never happens. The link led to a user page. The URL was simply www.youtube.com/666. That
God,
day.
we really just channeled Arthur in terms of like just pure malice.
It's always with
Yeah.
us in spirit.
Yeah, well, I mean, Squidward Suicide really set us up for it. That day, I went home after work and typed it into my computer, finding that the account was suspended. But when I refreshed the page several times, some things changed. The layout became gradually more red and distorted. All of the video tags turned into the letters X666. Most of those aren't letters. And every single piece of text on the screen also said 666. I thought someone was hacking my computer, but I denied it and continued to refresh the page.
I did not. You dare defy me?
You thought you were getting hacked and you just went, no, stop that. And it works.
Daga Kotomaru.
That's kind of crazy.
Just then, a channel popped up. 666's banned channel. I looked at some of the videos. Most of them were crazy depictions of gore, smothered in distorted, swirled graphics.
Crazy.
Crazy hamburger!
Joker, crazy hamburger.
Fuck's sake. I
like
decided to
rolling
leave
rounds.
the
This is gonna
video
be
I
the
was
death.
watching. I decided to leave the video I was watching and went to click on another one, but a blank pop-up appeared instead. I clicked an empty button and it took me to another video by 666. This video consisted of a woman drowning in a pool of blood and other horrible things happening. Naturally, I thought this was disgusting, so I tried to pause it, but it didn't let me. It wasn't responding. I decided to close Internet Explorer, but it wouldn't budge. Going on another video didn't work either. I thought there was no way out, until I remembered. Does anyone want to take it from here? While I put the desk back in sit mode?
The next question, the next line is the shutdown button, right?
Yes.
Cool. The shutdown button, of course. I decided to shut down my computer so that whatever virus this was would relinquish its hold. That's not how viruses work, but okay.
Yes,
It
the
is
virus
not.
is a sentient creature that wants you to watch username 666's videos.
But the button wouldn't work. Shutdown buttons respond all the time.
I'm surprised they didn't also try unplugging the computer from the wall.
They probably are
I knew
about
that
to.
I knew that I must have been hacked. All hope was lost. I couldn't get out of Explorer, and the video just kept going on and on. The girl in it was staring at me, all while random horrible sounds burst from my speakers.
Average
At the
Internet
very
Explorer
end, her hand
experience.
popped out the video box, crashed my computer. After a few days, I was fired. Good! You should have been.
Yeah.
That horrid experience with 666's channel had affected me too much, and I could no longer work my job. Oh, so wait, no, you were fired for like unreasonable
General
stuff.
professionalism, Oda.
Oda. Tampering with the animatronics.
Oda. But that
That was when I
was
thought of
when I
something.
thought of something. Could this actually have been made by the devil? Or was this just a joke to scare YouTubers? Either way, the myth was very mysterious. It's not a myth, it actually happened. You fucking...
It's me,
Could
the
this
devil.
actually
You experienced it, it's
be
not a myth, you
made by the
experienced
devil? Could this actually have been made by the devil?
Not
Hey, check out my new YouTube channel there. Call it 666.
experienced it. It's not a myth if you experience it, you fucking dumbass.
Nah,
Yeah, I
trust
don't
it's
know
a
if the myth about the sandwich I ate earlier was actually true.
Nah, trust myth. The myth of my soup and
Toast
cheese
myth.
toasty dinner.
I hadn't gotten
It was
into
good, by the way,
sleep
that was
after
the myth.
watching those videos. I wonder who made them.
The
What?
devil,
She's
clearly. The devil from the
Hey,
Bible.
it's me.
It's
Hey,
me
Bing Bong.
and my new
Hey,
YouTube
Bing Bong, I saw you
channel.
watching my YouTube channel.
The blog spot became defunct 2 days after the above blog was posted. If anyone tried to access it, a message would pop up saying removed by admin, error code 666. The blogger sent me his experience by email, asking me to post it on this website. He also left a note. Never visit nor refresh username 666. Once you finished, it will never stop. It won't come out.
My command.
Bro's got problems. He's got to see a fucking
that
doctor about that.
Like, I actually want to know what that means.
Bro jolted
do you
it too
mean by
hard
that?
and
I'm
broke
not
his
sure
penis.
what he means. I hope no one has ever tried this.
Bro jolted it too hard and broke his penis.
To quote Snake from Brawl, now you've got me curious.
And then this bit at the bottom is basically just like there was a
Markiplier?
YouTube added an Easter egg. Yeah,
Markiplier.
noted several
Whoa.
yeah. In mid 2022,
Hello,
it was
everybody,
noted
I'm
in
the devil.
several Reddit posts. It was noted in several Reddit posts and demonstrated in a stream by Markiplier that altering the word watch in any YouTube URL would take the user to a trimmed, cropped, and re-uploaded version of the original username 666 video. While thought by some to be genuine devilry or an intentional Easter egg on the part of YouTube, it was soon discovered that the phenomenon was a result of the user casual channel user numbers hacking into several accounts and redirecting their URLs, likely as a prank. Said user also made their own videos appear on many accounts' homepages, provoking a wave of videos addressing the issue. The account has since been terminated and the Easter egg no longer works.
Yeah, that's either 5th of October or 10th of May 2022.
Scrolling back up. What did we think of username 666?
They're pretty shit.
I
feel like
certainly
they could have made
a creepypasta of all time.
I feel like they could have made better use of the Chinese box narrative in that it is a story being told by another person from another person's story, much like
like a
Frankenstein.
matryoshka doll kind of situation. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one English thing that I know, English literature thing.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah, not very good.
It's not very good. Because it was mostly just a narration. It was mostly just a narration of a video that actually existed. The cultural context is basically this.
Yeah, it is.
Username 666, also known as SM666 or Nico Doga, is a video posted by Japanese YouTube channel Nana Bunch of Numbers in 2008. It shows what apparently happens when one searches for the username 666 on YouTube and then refreshes the page multiple times. The video has gained notoriety since its release and is generally regarded as one of the internet's first urban legends. Much discussion has taken place regarding its content and authenticity, leading to many rumours and recreations in the years since its initial upload. Now, A Bunch of Numbers has also created several other similarly themed and presented horror videos, including a username 666 sequel simply entitled Another YouTube. While an account with the name 666 has been proven to have existed on YouTube, it is not known with 100% certainty who owned it or why it was banned. However, evidence brought up in this video suggests that Nana Bunch of Numbers was the owner of the account and that it had been taken down by Google or YouTube following a complaint about its graphic and repulsive nature made on a help forum. The below narration of the original video was translated and edited from Japanese.
The video itself is actually pretty cool.
Oh yeah, no, the video itself is really well put together. It's fucking solid.
Oh yeah,
See,
it's great.
This is
like-
a frame from the video. It looks really good. It's a really good video. Do watch the original video if you're down for it.
Yeah. It's just
Because it's not nearly as dog shit as the narration of it.
It was like the final boss of Earthbound.
On some Geiger shit.
it is kind.
Geiger's type
kind of
beats.
Geiger's shit. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it kind of is a little bit. Geiger's if he had a YouTube account.
Now that would be genuine devilry.
Yeah, that would be definitely. Any more thoughts on username 666?
I got none, mate.
No, not really.
Yeah, that's fair. Alright, then I believe it is time to move on to the next story for tonight. And now, a segment I like to call Arthur Has Opinions on Book of the New Sun by Gene Wolfe.
Yeah, alright, I'll send the screenshot. Oh, well, not screenshot. I'll send the photo of the book I took in chat. And, so, it's mild spoiler warnings for Book of the New Sun, because I don't think those 2 chapters meant anything, and the 3rd chapter definitely doesn't. But that is kind of the whole book, so if you are searching for meaning in what you're reading, you go into the wrong place. Anyway, sorry. Yeah. Rose just... By the way, that guy's the king of space. That's the king of space jerking off. Just in front of the main character.
He's jerking it in the middle of a conversation.
So I'm gonna spin a small tale for you and set the scene. I'm not gonna tell you too much.
Okay.
But I'm gonna give you some context for what the past few chapters I've read are.
Spin us a yarn, Arthur.
Severian is a child who was orphaned and taken in by an order that trains torturers. This means he was trained to, like, he's definitely the beginning of the Mary Sue archetype. He's able to kill a man in 100 different ways, and he can inflict pain unbearable to any mortal, and he's also he's got like complete knowledge of the human body, and he can like paralyze your nerves with a single finger and shit like that.
What you're telling me is he's a very special boy.
He's a very special boy. He's also Jesus too.
The specialist boy.
He's very special. That's kind of the point of the book. He's the second coming of Christ. Literally is the second coming of Christ in this book. Not Jesus Christ. Instead, they call them the Conciliator. And basically, lots of things happen in this book. One of the most important events that hasn't really accounted to anything, but is very important, is that he got in a car crash. And in that car crash, or rather like a carriage crash, I don't really understand if it was moved by animals or if it was a car, but they crashed.
Could be like a very old style car.
Yeah, exactly.
He got those ones that you had a guy walking out front of.
Yeah, a magic gem landed in his hands, and he was like, "Shit! I got the magic gem called the Claw of the Conciliator." Conciliator.
It's going to make me even more of a special boy.
Well, it only works for him because he's a special boy. It wouldn't work for anyone else. And it has power over time. It's a weird thing. Anyway, that's not important. The important things are 7 chapters ago, Severian decided he had to go to the mountains for reasons I won't get into. He has had 7 different side character companions up to this point, and he's left his most long-lasted side companion, and I'm like, damn, nobody lasts any time at all in this goddamn book. But I'll get back to that complaint later. So, he goes into the mountain, and he actually meets side companion 2, I would say. Side companion 2 again. He meets them out, and she wants to kill him for reasons I won't get into, but he ends up meeting her in like a house that he's staying at as he stays with the family, and something happens at night where a creature that they had previously discussed comes, and this creature has the power to, when it eats someone's brain, it gets all their memories and starts being able to like imitate their voice and say things that only they would say, and that's how it like lures you out of safety and then like beats you to death and eats you. Anyway, that comes to attack the house. Severian has a sword, so he's like, I'll fucking kill you if you come inside. And it's like, I'll hit you with a rock. And he's like, one of us will die here. If you leave till tomorrow, I'm gone. I don't care about these people. And so it's like, fine, I'll be back tomorrow. And then as soon as it leaves, he goes, right, we need to get you out of this house immediately, because it's going to be back with more of them tomorrow. And I don't know if I can fight off multiple of them. I don't know if I could fight off one of them. Anyway, so he does. And they leave their house. And the next chapter opens with them. That entire family are all dead on the mountainside. They've all been beaten to death and eaten by beast people. And the one that ate the brain of the father who was like the one who attacked Severia and like attacked the household, who's got the little son who we learnt whose name is also Severian. Isn't that fun? We've got Big Severian and Little Severian. Anyway, that kid is like crying his eyes out as his family are like dead around him. Severian comes along and just kills all the monsters and the guy. He just like kills them because he's a great fighter and a great killer. He can just do this. Like, there's not really... He's very competent, is Severian, I'll say that much. It's like, cool, he can just kind of do things. Okay. Why didn't he do that earlier? You didn't think he could? It was dark, to be fair. He probably couldn't have beaten a monster in the dark, but he could beat it in the light. Anyway.
Because he can fucking see the thing.
Yeah, so it's one of those things. He kills it, and then he says to the boy, "You've lost your father. When a boy loses a father, he needs another one. Come with me, little Severian, you're my son now." Side character number 8. I'm like, that's fun. I hope this lasts a while. The next chapter is them in the jungle. Little Severian immediately gets kidnapped, and Big Severian is set upon by 3 wizards. Severian says, what? Severian says, magic is... No, to be fair, Severian does say, magic isn't real. What are you doing? And they're like...
What is happening now?
They're like, we've kidnapped your son. If you want your son back, you'll have to come with us. And so he's like, okay, well, I do want to save my son. So here, I'll give you my sword and I'll submit to you. And so they do. They take him down into a basement in their village after blindfolding him. And in this basement, it's deep in a cavern, so there's no light. And he's just kind of sitting there waiting for them as he talks to the ghost of his first crush in his brain, because he has that because he drank the brain of the creature that gets memories from people when it eats their brain. So he takes on its ability and then ate some of that person's flesh. That was, by the way, this is late in book 2 this happens, and that's a resolution of one of the first events in this book. I can't really get into much about that, but he just has the ghost of his first crush in his head, and she likes him back. And so he just kind of talks to her. And she gives him advice and tries to be like, you have to live, Severian. It's weird. It's a weird thing, but it's kind of fun. But it's odd. Anyway, he talks to her, and then he hears a slime monster coming. And so he has to run. And he's like, fuck, I have to run. Also, there have been no mentions of slime monsters up until this point. It's just a thing now.
Oh shit, the slime monsters that we definitely mentioned before. I gotta cheese it.
It's just the thing. It's like, okay, there's a slime monster. Cool. Right, okay, we'll deal with that.
Also, there are 3 wizards.
Alright, a slime monster. Cool. So he runs out, and he sneaks out, and he finds the wizards are holding like a tribunal to decide what to do with him, and then one of them mentions him by name, so he steps out of the darkness and goes, "You said my name and now I am here." And they all go, and he goes, "I am a powerful wizard, do not test me." And then he punches a guy in the arm, and his arm paralyzes and drops his sword, and then little Severian steps out and grabs his sword and brings it to him. He's like, "Let me leave and I will allow you to live. But you should not brook with a powerful wizard." And they're like, "If you're a powerful wizard, we'll test you with our wizard trial that we do." And he's like, "Nice. Magic's not real. They're going to try me and I'm going to pass. And if I don't, I'll just kill them." And then say I passed and run. And that'll buy me some time. He goes into a house, and then the guy starts assaulting him with a real... He goes into the hut where they hold the trial, and he starts getting psychically assaulted with a real magic spell.
Magic's not real. I'm totally fine. Real. Walks into the house. I cast fireball.
You said if I fail the trial, I'll just kill them and then say I passed the trial and leave.
Well, no, he'll kill the person who's trialing him. He was like, "I'll kill the person who's trialing me. Come out, say I passed, and then run." As soon as they go, just buy himself a couple minutes.
Legit.
It's stupid, but he's like, these people are fucking idiots. They believe in magic. Magic's not real.
And then it turns out magic is totally fucking real, and he's getting his shit rocked.
Yeah, just walks out with a suspiciously gym-shaped throat.
Where did Wizard Jim go? I don't know, I haven't seen him.
Couldn't tell you.
Couldn't tell you he died. He died. It's fine. It's whatever.
He died because of
He
my
died.
awesome wizard powers.
Probably got eaten or
Don't-
something.
Are you gonna get into why the King of Space had?
I assume we're getting there.
No, we're getting here. I told you, it's like a.
Sorry.
It's a
It's
tirade.
proceeding. It's cool. Let it ride. Let it
No,
ride.
no,
Jim.
I
Let
was
it ride.
I was just like, is this
Okay.
related to the?
Yeah, this is. No, it is.
Yeah,
It's
sorry.
all related. But I'm trying to get across to you that none of the chapters in this book matter. Nothing matters. It's so like the prose is incredible. The story crafting, the world building, the dialogue is incredible. None of it matters. Not one event that's happened in this book has led to another event. I feel like I'm going insane.
Let's see how it goes. We were
You're
at
reading-
the point. We were at the point where big special. Hang on. Let me pull up.
So what you're essentially reading is
very
the book
necessary.
equivalent of a Saturday morning cartoon where the plots
No.
of each episode do not
No,
matter
no.
to each
I'm
other.
waiting for
it's
the OBS.
it's
to
more.
load it up. There we go.
I'm reading the book equivalent. I'm reading the book equivalent of somebody dying of a seizure in front of me and reliving all their memories at once.
Okay, so
If that
Arthur,
makes sense.
yes,
This is really
please
funny
continue.
to watch
If-
twice.
Okay,
So,
please continue from the point where our big special boy mega wizard Severian was getting super blasted by the magic he is just now figuring out exists.
I'm going to pull you up the description of this. It also, by the way, the chapter is just called Magic Jewel.
Right?
Cool.
Yes.
Please continue.
Right,
Yes, his
Good
magic-
chapter though. Good,
Tells everything
good
I need
chapter.
to know.
Magic Duel. Magic
I'd
Duel.
call it, oh shit, I'd have
duel.
called the chapter, oh shit, magic's totally fucking real, oh god.
Oh, it's
that
basically
would
what
have
he
been the
says. He
chapter.
goes, oh, fuck, magic's real.
Ah, penis.
I'm getting my fucking shit rocked.
I'm getting my shit blasted, I'm fucking dying.
killed. I'm getting murdered.
Severian is whack.
What? Why is this happening?
This is the best tangent I think we've ever been on.
Hey, fuck it, good. We let it continue to
Where
evolve.
the fuck is the circle of the duel of magic? There we go. Right, let me read you this incredible bit of prose describing like being attacked by a psychic spell. Yeah, so.
Might be able to
I
get
can't find it. It must be a different point. All right, I'll give up. Anyway, it was a very impressive bit of prose explaining about how he felt as though his mind were being like there's a lot of symbolism with the sun. A big part of this book is that the sun is like long, old, and dying, and like it never rises. It merely crests the horizon of the earth. Things are never bright. We're in like a constant state of dusk and then night. Anyway, and it's like this imagery of he felt as though he were floating trapped between two blazing suns at like the peak of their brightness, their like effervescence, and though his mind were being seared away by two pressing orbs of light that was like stripping away and lathing away his own consciousness. It was a very interesting like bit of prose. I was like, that's cool. I liked it. What comes to kill that wizard while he's killing Severian is the slime monster from earlier. It comes and it eats him.
That's it.
Thanks, slime monster.
Thanks, slime monster. Very cool.
Yeah.
So
the slime monster comes and eats him, and it's because it can hear him. It sees via his like thoughts. It detects thoughts is what Severian thinks. He like guesses. That's his estimation, his hypothesis. So he's like, the wizard was imposing his mind and his will upon me, so he was thinking much louder than I was. So the slime monster came and killed him. Then Severian leaves he's like, shit, the slime monster's here killing everyone. So he cuts open the roof of the little hut with his sword and runs. And they escape while the slime monster's killing and eating everyone. Then they see three people on the road and they're like, how did you summon that powerful slime monster? And Severian's like, yes, it was very powerful. And they go, it killed nearly 8 of us. And he's like, wow, you are powerful. It killed like 50 people in the city. Last saw one of those kinds of things. And they went, yes. Well, we're not going to hinder you since you're a strong wizard. And he was like, thanks. See you. And then went into the mountains.
Chill. I'm going
That's
to the
it.
mountains.
Like, you just went, yeah, all right, cool. I'm going to the mountains. Then there's a chapter of him
just goes
walking
type
in the
shit.
mountains. He just goes. There's a chapter of him walking in the mountains, which is very, very interesting, very fun chapter. I love that. Then there's a chapter of him walking in the mountains, but he sees
what previously happened.
he sees two giant statues of the same figure staring at them. As he's like, why are these statues staring at us? And they go to walk down to the village at the base of these statues, and it's completely abandoned. They find a room with a bench with like a medical slab where someone might lie, and there's this withered corpse of a figure with two heads chained to it, and he fiddles with an old machine and can't get it to work. So he's like, fuck, alright, we are gonna die if we don't get any food or water here. We're gonna climb up the statue and try and steal the giant gold ring we saw on it, so at least we'll have gold so we can maybe buy some shit off of people if we come across them. And if it's enough gold, we can maybe use some of it to buy you into a guild, so you don't have to come with me anymore and you can live a good life. And little Severian's like, okay, Dad. They go up the statue, and little Severian touches the golden ring and is immediately killed because he's electrocuted to death and burns up into a charred corpse. Severian goes, that was the most harrowing thing I've ever saw. And I have ever seen, and I torture people for that's my job. I just torture people. That was my vocation that I did. And that fucked me up.
That's worse.
See, an 8-year-old burned to death, that fucked me up. And then he goes down the statue and it's like, yeah, that fucked me up. And the two-headed withered corpse is now alive. And it goes, my name is Typhon. I have food and water for you. You fiddling with the machine brought me back to life. It was set to do that. And Severian's like, oh, food and water, yes, please. So Typhon picks him up and throws him into a flat, he describes it as a flat boat, but I think it's meant to be some futuristic pod. And then they fly somewhere. This has been 3 separate chapters now. No, two chapters as they fly up into the statue. The third chapter is them in the statue. In that statue, the two-headed man describes how he's the king of space, the original autarch, and he fucked up because Earth was his capital city, and Earth's sun was dying, and he didn't leave early enough, so the people of Earth rebelled, and all the people on the other with the ability to fly into space had already gone, and he was like, fuck, I fucked up. So his body was dying, and so he was like, shit, I need to be grafted onto... his scientists came up with an idea to graft his brain into another body, but he was like, no, I need my face, because that's what people know to respect and fear. So they were like, okay, we'll graft your body onto your strongest slave, and graft all the voluntary functions to you, and the involuntary, unconscious functions will slowly be transferred over to the voluntary head, and then we can just slice off the heads that's not needed. And they were like, okay, cool, we'll do that. So, and that's what's going on with why he has two heads. He then goes to Severian and he's like, you will vow your allegiance to me. I am the sovereign king Typhon, the first and greatest autarch. And they're like, okay. And Severian's like, no, I will not vow sovereignty to you using my claw. I will not pray to you. You fought against the first conciliator who heralded the coming of the new sun. You are like a foe to humanity, things like that. So he picks him up by the ankle and dangles him out of the statue's eye and goes, if you don't swear sovereignty, I will drop you out of this statue and kill you. And Severian's like, please don't kill me, please don't kill me, please. And so he doesn't. And he takes him to the right eye.
Surprisingly.
Yeah, he takes him to the right eye and is like, now, I gave you a chance at the left eye. Swear sovereignty to me at the right eye, and I will grant you food and water, and I will make you the king of Earth when I reclaim my empire in the stars. You will rule Earth for me, and I will rule a better planet. And he's like, Severian is like,
dick.
Severian is like, okay, sure. He pulls out his charm and he sees it shine, and the Typhon is like, see how your charm sparkles for me. It shows due deference. And Severian thinks to himself, it didn't sparkle earlier. It doesn't sparkle for him. It sparkles for the sun. And so he says to him, "You were once the foe of the Conciliator. What would you do now if he returned and heralded the new sun to bring light back to Earth?" And he goes, "I would not make the same mistake. I would have him bow to me, serve me as my, I can't remember the term he used, to serve me as my servant." Yeah. And Serene's like, "I can't let this guy live. He's like the worst person ever." So he palm slams his nose bridge up into his brain, and Severian, and the guy would normally be too fast and strong to allow Severian to do that. But he defends his real face and the brain of the other guy who controls the autonomous functions like the heart beating and the lungs working and breathing and stuff.
Gets left out.
He instead slams that nose into that brain, and the guy dies. So we had 2 chapters of that side character. So we've had 5 chapters. We've gone through 2 side characters. No, actually, we've had about 7 chapters.
We've had
I'll
the
be fair to them.
wizards. We had the wizards. We had the fucking travelers on the road briefly. We had little Severian who was there for a while and then got burnt to a fucking crisp.
And
now we've got King of Space who just died.
King of Space, who I open palm slammed his nose up into his brain, killing him instantly.
But did he jerk off before that or after that?
No, he jerked off when he was explaining that he was the King of Space and he had his head grafted onto a body. The exact line is actually, "I had my brain grafted on my head grafted onto my strongest slave, and I control the voluntary functions, and he controls the autonomous ones." And then Severian goes, "And I noticed he had an erection, and he was nursing it with one hand." Also, the first thing Severian said about this guy's dead body is that his penis is tiny. So it's like, what?
I fucking noticed then.
This book is
Bro's real observant, I guess.
I'm a big
This
fan.
man must clearly love cock or something.
I'm a big fan of this book series. It's got no. I'm not a big fan. I'm
I'm a big fan of this. Actually, no.
I'm a cautious observer of this set of books given to me by someone because they have excellent world building, and they do have excellent world building, and they do have excellent prose, and they do have really interesting character dialogues and ideas. But my God, has this book series been written by an evil man, an evil, wretched individual whose sole purpose in life was to dissuade others from thinking.
It feels to me like the literary equivalent of watching someone fiddle with the demon core. It's like, I'm watching, but I'm watching from a safe distance behind lead-plated glass.
It's got... I really like some of it, but there is, like, Severian's a huge misogynistic cunt and I hate him. And also he really defends torture. He's like, nah, it's necessary, otherwise people would just do all the crime. And it's like,
hang on a minute.
No, it's clear he's been indoctrinated, but it's like...
Massive misogynist, and also immediately notices this guy's dick anytime something happens with it. This guy is definitely gay. Like,
he's had so many. No,
not good.
He's like definitely bisexual, but he just hates women for some reason. But he like really loves fucking them, and he really loves some. But he's just so awful toward them. But anyway, like
Average.
there have been 10 side characters so far, including King of Space.
Mm-hmm.
There's been number 1 a dog who lasted half a chapter. But he was a companion who was named. Companions. He had Thekla, who was his first crush, she was like a noble, and she chatted with him, and she asked for his company, and he would read to her, and she would ask for like certain books, and she'd be like, read me this passage, and he'd learn about the world through that, and she'd teach him things, and it was kind of nice. But also, she was an adult, and he was 16. He was groomed, basically, is what I'm saying. But he never had sex with her. He never had sex with her. But she was, like, being weird with him, and she did kiss him on the lips.
And this was
like,
also...
Actually, she
correct me if I'm wrong.
She, like, deep tongue kissed him.
Jesus Christ, but also, correct me if I'm wrong, this is also the same person who he ate her flesh and now she's a ghost in his brain?
Yes, so that happens way later, because
You're
actually at the
in your
start
head.
of the book, he met a man named Vodalus, who is like the revolutionary against the Autarch, who's like ruling Earth. And Vodalus gives him a coin and says, if you ever meet with any of my men, show them this coin and they will know that you were loyal and defended me, because he didn't turn him into the guards and get him killed. And so he gets Vodalus's coin. 2 2/3 books later, he meets a guy who works for Vodalus, shows him the coin, goes to meet Vodalus, and Vodalus is like, my boy, you can serve me once again as you served me so dutifully in the last time. But first we must have a feast. And then he drinks this potion and eats some meat, and that guy goes, this was the meat of your first crush, and now her brain is in your brain, and also you've met her sister, who's my wife, by the way.
I love also halfway through that explanation, full backhanding the microphone.
It's just, that's a thing. That's a thing that happens in that book. That's
What, he
2
backhands
chapters.
the microphone?
2
He
chapters.
backhands the
That
microphone?
resolves one event at the start of the book. Literally, page 3, he gets that coin. And it is not resolved for 2 2/3 books. And you know what we do in the meantime? We fiddle. We do bullshit. Back to the characters, back to the
Yep.
companions list. So we've met those guys.
We've had the dog,
Next
we've had
set of-
Brunulord in your brain.
She's like a lovely
feel like I'm
woman.
having
She's
a
such a
I
groomer.
don't care, I'm saying it.
She's
I'm saying
definitely a
words.
groomer. She's definitely like evil, morally evil.
Facts are facts.
Such a groomer.
Facts are facts.
Never
These
have
are
I heard
things
2
that happen.
sentences so incongruent.
She's
These
evil.
are things that
She's
occur.
morally evil, but she was real nice.
Brunulord in
And
your
that
brain,
can just
number
be
3.
true. That can just. Numbers 3 and 4 were met together. It's an old doctor and his giant companion. And that doctor wants to put on a play. And so he says, boy, I shall put on a play and you will act in my play as death.
Okay.
And Severian goes, okay, sure. And then leaves because he's not doing that. And he didn't want to get involved with that man.
Arthur, what
What
I'm
dick.
hearing right now is every single major character in this story, except for Severian, is like an NPC you came up with for a campaign. Except it's concepts from every single campaign you've ever done, all thrown into one world with absolutely no consideration for how they'd mesh. And also, me, June, and Mason are feeling very anti-following the plot that day.
Like, it's a really good series of books. It's got such an interesting world. It's got some really cool things to go on. Right,
Yes, but
Companions
that
3 and
is
4.
what I'm hearing.
Companions 3 and 4, right. So, Companion 5 is a waitress at the cafe they are eating at when he's discussing the idea of the play, that he convinces to quit her job as a waitress and join him as his lead actress. She does. Cool.
Is that it?
We'll get back to her.
I assume in about
Companions-
3 to 5 books, we'll find out that the play is now touring worldwide as a success.
I'll go back to that. Companions 6 and 7 come soon. 6 is so immediately after leaving and saying he's not, like, just not even telling them he's not going to do the play.
I
He
ain't
just
gonna
fucks
do
off.
that. Bye.
He just fucks off. He gets
that
stopped by
shit.
the police and they say you can't keep walking around in your like dark your dark torturer robes. You're scaring people. Go get some other clothes. And they give him money and he goes, all right, I'm going to go buy some normal people clothes. And he does. And in that shop, he meets a lovely woman that he immediately is like, she's so hot and she's so cool and I really want to have sex with her. He's like, what? Okay.
Just straight up goes, yeah, no.
Okay.
You look
Sure,
fucking
whatever,
good. That's the plan.
whatever.
Walks up to someone in M&S, come here often.
It's just, he doesn't talk to her, by the way. He just thinks that. Then, immediately, a knight comes into the shop and goes, I saw you eyeing up that beautiful woman earlier. You braggart. Slaps him in the face and goes, I challenge you to a duel to the death. Or, if you don't, you have to give me your sword. He then is like, how do I do a duel to the death with a knight? I'm not from here. And that
So,
lady
I
is
just
like,
got
okay,
here
I don't live
today.
here.
yeah,
I just
that
got here today.
That lady, like the day before. That lady is like, interesting. I'll show you what you have to do. You have to go get a special branch from the land, the place where the river where they put all the dead people. Not important. We'll get back to it. So that's companion number 6. Companion number 7 is a person in the river where they keep all the dead people that he revives. He immediately, like, he's like, she's such a wonderful young woman. She falls in love with him, and he eventually reciprocates. He does consistently describe her form as childlike. I want to kill that guy with a hammer. I want to kill Severian with a hammer.
Severian,
She's not
the
a child.
cycle of...
She's a full-grown adult, and she has a child and a husband, she eventually reveals, who are dead. Because, spoiler, she was a dead person revived by the magic thingamajig you got earlier, the crystal. It has the control over time. Anyway, yeah. She's his longest-lasting companion. Now, we go
How long?
back...
3 chapters? 4?
Quite a while, actually. 2 whole books. Or, no, a book and a half is actually more like it. But anyway...
My God.
I know.
A number of chapters in the double digits.
It's like 45, 50 chapters she's with him. It's quite cool. Anyway, back to the whole thing.
Little Severian.
He goes to get this thing and has to fight that knight at a duel. The tree branch the knight is using withers before it touches him because he's Jesus Christ. The knight goes, that's not fair. Runs away, and the crowd is like, has to stop him. The crowd stops him, pulls off his helmet, and he's like, fuck you, and kills all of them with the branch. The guy who was the knight turned out to be the brother of the woman who was at the clothes shop, who owned the clothes shop, and it was a setup. They were trying to scam him of his sword because that guy's just really good at fighting with those branches. He gets stopped by the police. Severian is then paid to execute him because that's his other job. He's an executor and a torturer. Those are his 2 jobs. He then goes and rejoins the play people for like 15 minutes.
Hey, how's your project coming along? Good? Okay, bye.
He's like, cool.
That
Does
one group
one
member.
play with them for a night because he just meets them on the road and is like, cool. Then leaves in the morning immediately without saying anything. Goes to leaves. Tries to leave in the morning. Bandits attack. The end of the first book is bandits are attacking the camp and he kills 2 of them. It's not even the end of the fight the book ends at. It ends with him killing 2 people to protect...
Okay.
Her name...
Okay, so what I'm imagining
I hate
here...
the pacing in this book, because do you know where the next book starts? He's in the middle of a festival being paid to execute 2 more people. Do we get bridges? No. We wait 10 chapters to be told what's going on. Also, next companion number 8. My goat, Jonas. He's a green half-plant person from the future. Where the Earth was restored.
No, hang on. I'm assuming the book does gloss over this, but you can't. What do you
he's
mean
from the future.
He's a half-black guy
person.
from the future.
He doesn't need to eat food, he just has chlorophyll. That's all we get. Also, Law Drop, he trauma dumps because they go to jail together at one point. He landed and he like got annihilated by like crash. His like time machine crashing. 2 farmers who came to save him got grafted by his ship and transformed into his body. So he's like, I killed 2 people. I'm not the same body. They recreated my brain. This is not the same body. This fucks me over. I can't deal with this. I'm not alive. And Severian's like, yeah, that's fucked up. Do you want to hear some stories?
That's rough, buddy.
And there's 3 chapters straight of just him telling stories in prison.
I'm imagining
Awesome.
as well.
I'm sorry, at this point, this needs to be like its
we
own
have
separate
more.
video.
We have yet more.
This has to be its own separate video
I
because
have a lot more. I have a lot more
This
to
can't just
to
be
say.
tacked onto a creepypasta read.
Yeah, sure. Do your own video.
I might
No.
not.
Turn this
figure it
into
out.
a separate video. Turn this
I
into a
will-
separate video. Is what I'm saying.
I will figure out whether I want to do that or whether I just want to leave this in the
I
middle
need
of
to
the
hear
video
more
for
of
the
this,
sheer fuck
I
of
think it's a
it.
bonus upload.
I need to hear more of this though.
Well, we can hear more of it now. I don't give a shit.
Sorry.
So Companion 9 was Little Severian. I'll bridge the gap for you, by the way. 'Cause Companion 9 doesn't come for ages. What's her name? Is Dorcas, that's her name. She's lovely.
Dorcas.
No, just Dorcas. Dorcas. Anyway,
What happened to Dorcas?
In town, after executing the first person who's being paid to execute, somebody comes up to him, gives him a letter, and says, "It's me, Thekla. I'm alive." By the way, the ghost isn't in his head at the moment. I'm alive. I faked my death. Your master got me out when you brought me a knife to kill myself because I couldn't bear being tortured. You had to be expelled. I asked that you were expelled so you could come rejoin me. I'm in this cave system. And he's like, and goes straight to the cave system and gets immediately jumped. He gets shot in the leg, falls down a hole. Monkey people come to kill him. He pulls out his magic gem and they all run away. And then he heals his leg, comes out, kills the 2 people who tried to kill him, finds out, boom, it was the sister, companion number, I forget, but she's back and she wants him dead. And she's like, fine, if I can't kill you, kill me. And he's like, no, you're a woman. And then leaves.
I have figured out what I'm doing with this. I'm putting this as an intermission piece between username 666 and Abandoned by Disney. So it's gonna be in the video, but it's gonna have its own dedicated section.
You said Dorcas, and I immediately remembered this shit.
Pull out my phone so I can have a look at this. Without, because I am recording Arthur as this is happening.
Fire Emblem commercial. Okay, yeah, right. I can't watch it. All right, I've got. Okay, sorry. So.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
He then meets Jonas, the green plant man, who's just trapped in a cage, and they're like, "This man's from the future. He can tell you the future." And Severian is like, "You are from way far in the future. You can't tell me anything." And he goes, "I actually do know who you are because you're very important." And Severian goes, "What?" And Jonas goes, "I can't tell you anything though because that would change the future. So you're just very. I just gotta let you know I do know stuff about you." So he's like, "I'm gonna free you." So he breaks his chains, and Jonas is like, "Cool, thanks. Let's just travel together." So they do. They travel together for a while until they get thrown in prison for some reason. I think they're just a lot of people in prison. In prison, like. He's just getting electrocuted at night, by the way. This is just a thing happening in the prison. People just come and whip you and electrocute you at night.
What?
Severian defends this, by the way. Severian's like, nah,
Severian
it's necessary to stop crime. Severian's like, it's necessary to stop crime. It has to be done. And it's not,
I imagine
otherwise
he's
people would
saying
just be
this
killing
as
and raping
he's getting
each other.
whipped and electrocuted.
People would just be...
It's happening to him and he's just
This
chilling.
happens for one night. Jonas starts tweaking out because he got badly burnt and whipped all night. So Severian's like healing him with the crystal while telling him stories. He tells him about the story of Theseus, but from like the perspective of somebody who doesn't know what Greece or Theseus or boats are. So it's really interesting that it's a really interesting retelling of the story of Theseus. Like there's a description of an idea of a labyrinth and a boat and the black sails and a whole bunch of other stuff. Also, never is the name Theseus mentioned, but it's like clearly because you can tell.
Since his
Anyway,
first draft.
it's very interesting. It's like fun. They then just escape prison because Severian's like, the people who whip you come from that hole in the wall. I'm gonna jump them, and he does. And then he like walks out and is like, cool. I'm in the palace. I had to. Do a job. Oh, I forgot to mention, between getting thrown in prison and meeting Jonas, he does go meet Vidalis, who is the important guy who gives him the juice that lets him eat the flesh and get the ghost of his first crush in his brain. So that has happened. He's like, shit, Vidalis gave me a job where I had to deliver a message to somebody in the palace. I'm in the palace right now underneath. Jonas is like, my people need me, I have to go, and just goes back to the future.
Hang on. He fully just goes, I have to go now. My planet needs me. And then
I
leaves.
do not vibe with this time.
He's like, this was horrific. I never want to come back. Thank you for saving me again, Severian. I'm gone. And he leaves.
And he
That's
just
very, like, cool.
leaves.
So he's like, cool, I'm gonna go get my sword and do the job I was paid to do here.
Make
so
like
he
a
does,
tree
He
and-
delivers this thing. He delivers this message,
Nice.
sees a magic book that kind of makes him tweak out, and then the guy like closes the book and is like, sorry, your nose was bleeding and your mind was melting. So I had to stop that from happening. You're the only person I've ever seen who's looked at that book and not had their head immediately explode. So
I
that's
do love
really
also, this happens, cut to a few chapters later, oh, magic's not real.
Yeah. No, he just thinks it's technology. He's like, that's technology.
Magic ain't real.
That's
That
technology.
robot book made my nose bleed.
He's just like, it's technology. I just got hit with like a psychic radiation beam.
Psychic attack.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so that makes sense.
So
I mean, I believe it. I don't know anything about this one. I'm experiencing through your eyes. If psychic radiation beams are real,
Cool. Yeah, makes
he
sense.
was just getting whipped a chapter ago.
Sure.
Then he leaves the palace, but he tries to leave the palace, but he runs into the play people again.
He keeps bumping
They do
into him.
one final draft of the play with him. Each time he's run into them, he's had to do one more version of the play, and they're like, yes! Our actor to play Death is here, and we were going to perform for the nobles! And they're like, awesome. The giant guy goes insane halfway through the play and starts just attacking the audience. They shoot him with laser guns, but he's so strong they can't even hurt him, and Severian is like, I gotta fucking go. So he goes and he leaves with Dorcas and Yolenta, who are the lead. Well, he leaves with Dorcas and Yolenta follows him. Dorcas is the person who was in love with him that he will fall in love with, and Yolenta is the person who was hot, who was the lead actress and he didn't like. But also he fucked her.
But also, factor, that makes sense. For someone playing Severian.
So Severian, journeys away. Yolenta gets killed and eaten by vampire bats. Severian gets attacked by a water magic guy. Also, he finds the doctor again. The doctor says, I'm actually employed by the giant guy to help keep him on land because he's one of the sea people. Severian's like, oh, the sea people. One of them keeps appearing in my dreams. This has happened a few times. And that guy's like, cool, yeah, that's probably like one of my family, because there's not that many of us. And Severian's like, cool, I'm gonna go. And they're like, cool, bye. Severian gets attacked by the water. It's the sea person who's in love with him because he's the second coming of Christ. He's like, no, I'm not going to the ocean with you. She comes up out of the water and slaps him so hard all his ribs break and tries to drown him. Dorcas comes and grabs him and pulls him out of the water because she can't really hold on to him because stepping out of the water made all her bones break because she can't live outside of water because she's so heavy. Severian is like, Dorcas, you saved my life. I'm in love with you. And she's like, I'm also in love with you, Severian. And then they have a lovely kiss, and that's where the second book ends. The third book begins with
It's definitely more
them
of a
being-
resolution than the first book.
the
Yeah,
third book.
considering the first book ended with what amounts to
In the
movie
middle of a
sequel
fight,
bait
the
scene.
rest of it got cut off.
Yeah, it's like a movie sequel bait scene.
Okay.
It's like, I can imagine the fight scene starting, Severian's looking at the bandits, he charges, What I've Done starts playing as he leaps into the air and gets ready to swing at them. That's not what
Not
I
even the
thought.
right song.
No, not at all. But it's the Nickelodeon Gibby edit song. Anyway, what was I saying? Back to
Third book.
So third book opens with he's now at his destination, where he was sent by his guild after he got banished for saving Thekla from torture by giving her a knife to kill herself. He is a proficient executor and torturer. Dorcas is like, being a torturer is so horrible. I went into your prison and it is awful. Severian is like, okay, we'll talk about this later because I have a party at my boss's tonight, but I understand that my job is not pleasant for other people to see, but it is necessary. And he goes on like a spiel about justifying it, and she's like, cool. It makes me unhappy and uncomfortable and I can't be here. And he's like, okay, well, I love you more than I love my job. Let's talk about this when I get back. He goes to the party. At that party, he meets a woman. He went dressed in his actual executor's robes because it's a fancy dress party. And he's like, oh, yeah, I'll pretend to be an executor. That's kind of fun. He sees her clothes and he's like, she's in real nun's habits. So she must be a real nun, which means I can give her back her magic crystal that I accidentally got in that car crash a book and a half ago. She is not a nun, and she's like, why did you think I was an... Oh my god, you're really a torturer. And faints. He is like, oh fuck. Like,
Well, I
nurses
assume
about to
she's
help.
getting told by the distinct scent of copper.
No, it's like, he's very cleanly well. Anyway, yeah, but, what was I saying? The next chapter, she wakes up, and she's like, so you're a real torturer? And she was like, it shocked me, but I find you strangely alluring. There's like a few paragraphs of her describing that he's hot under his mask and being like, I can tell that you are sexually attractive. She then tells him a story, and then they fuck.
Okay.
His boss comes up and goes, I see you've met my wife.
Tragedy. Oh.
That doesn't, like, the
We were
hard
this
cut,
close to a spit take. We were this
Hard
close
cut.
to a spit take.
Hard cut to next chapter. He's just walking through town. A fire monster appears. A monster made of fire. The knights run at it. They all die. So he's like, it's gonna kill me.
Great job, guys.
Runs to a house on the edge of a cliff, like a poorly made shanty house. The monster is slowly coming at him. Steps onto a wooden floor with nothing beneath it. Burns through the floor and falls and dies.
Yeah,
Oh,
that makes sense.
So he then leaves. He goes. He's like, Dorcas is not happy. She's unwell. I took her to a place where she was not happy and unwell. He goes and he meets with her, and she's getting ready to leave. And he's like, okay, if you're getting ready to leave, that's okay, because I also have to leave. And then he explains that his boss wanted him to kill his boss's wife, but he said no, because the ghost of his first crush in his head was like, that's so, you can't just choke her to death like your boss told you to. And he's like, okay, I'll listen to my first crush in my head. I love her. That's
I will
my
listen
moral
to
compass.
Bring Your Lord in my brain.
Yeah, so that happens, and he's like, I have to leave the city or they're going to kill me.
I
And
assume
so
he
he gives all
tactfully
his-
didn't mention the fact that he did also fuck his
he
boss's
doesn't
wife.
mention it. No, he don't mention it.
Well,
He
I mean,
then-
that's better than telling her outright, I guess.
He then hands her all his money and goes, take a ship south, I'm going north. He then leaves. Boom. Neutral set. No companions remaining.
Okay.
This is when we get to the mountains and we reach the sister again. And that's when all the stuff with the monkeys happen. That's the book. I am most of the way through the third book. This is the third and fourth book as like a two-parter. So I'm most of the way through the third book. The King of Space just died. That doesn't matter. The King of Space is dead, and that doesn't matter. I can't communicate really properly what the intention, what ideas this author had. Because it's...
So, I'll tell you what this sounds like to me. This sounds like a TTRPG campaign, probably D&D, where the DM was a really talented world builder and writer, knew how to describe things really well, really talented at, putting a world together, but
also a
the
huge
players-
misogynist and right-winger.
that too, unfortunately, but a lot of talent at the world building and prose portions of things. However, let the players put whatever fucking homebrew into the world that they fucking wanted, and none of it actually meshes well together.
No, the guy from the future, it makes sense, because the plot of the book is that the Earth is dying because the sun is dying, and they're just waiting on the new sun to come, and they have this old Earth technology from an empire that expand the whole universe that can like cure cancer and bring people back from the dead. But they don't get any of it. It's like a second Dark Age, and they just use what they know how to use. And other than that, it's like fucking medieval things. And also the king rules the earth with like an iron fist and has like a super army to kill anyone who disagrees. So it all, like, the world fleshes together so well, and it makes sense. Never have I been like, that doesn't fit in this book, I don't like that. But also, many times have I been very, very angry that we've taken like a 3 or 2 chapter break to read a story within this universe. I did not need a chapter where Severian reads to little Severian about, quote unquote, the boy named Frog. And do you know what the boy named Frog is?
Is he a frog?
No.
Obvious guess.
No.
Okay.
No. The boy named Frog is a tale about... So it starts with a jealous king and a queen who hates her husband. She finds a beautiful flower in the forest. Also, that queen's name is Summer Winds, just so you know. She finds a beautiful flower that's dripping nectar. She decides to get pregnant with it.
Okay.
Great.
Then gives
Alright.
birth to a child named Spring Winds. But the king thinks it's his, and the kid thinks the king's his father. Also, when she was pregnant, the king had all the astrologers and horoscopers come together to divine a fortune for his son, Spring Winds. And the fortune he devised was: he will lead the mightiest of armies, and all of his children will live to grow old until they die. Or none of his children will die before they are fully grown. That's it. Spring Winds is born, and he's a really nice guy and he loves nature, but his father is like, you have to command a super army. So he makes a super army and conquers the universe. And he finds Earth, and Earth is ruled by 2 kings, one of whom is older and has a bunch of sons, and one of whom is younger and has 1 daughter. The older king kills the younger king, and Spring Winds is like, damn, fuck, I like that guy. And the older king makes the daughter sign up to be a virgin priestess. So Spring Winds is like, I'm going to get back at that king. And he goes, and he, like, for lack of a better term, chats up that girl and gets her pregnant. But she's like, shit, I can't be pregnant, I'm meant to be a virgin. So she gives birth and hides the 2 twins in a wicker basket and sends them down the river.
Are the twins by
Never
any
heard of that
chance
before.
called Autumn and Winter Winds?
No. They're called Fish and Frog.
Great. So all this time, we've only just got to the part in the story, the boy named Frog, where the boy named Frog exists.
My name Frog.
Fish
So it's not-
was picked up.
not even the only
Fish
boy.
and Frog were picked up by 2 sisters who had both recently miscarried. One was wife to a herdsman. Fish went with that guy. One was wife to a woodsman. Frog went with that guy. Wolves came and killed his family. But this is like a few years later. Wolves come and kill his family, but the mother wolf is like, we will raise this one as our own. But then the father is like, fine, we'll have to take him to the tribunal of wolves. They do, and the wolves are like, we can't raise a human, we're wolves, that's not allowed. And she's
That's
like, I need
fucking
2
silly.
people to vouch for him. And so the eldest wolf goes, I've taught many cubs, but I've never taught a human cub. He would also teach me many things. I think this is wise. We will one day rule the red flower of man. And then the richest wolf, called like the Black Shadow, goes, I bet you that this guy will grow up to be the greatest warrior in all the wolves. And if he does not, you may have all my gold. I will guarantee for him. And then the tribunal's like, well, he's got 2 votes, so that's how it works. He's fine. And so they raise him. And he becomes the strongest and greatest wolf and like restores the forest. And one day he just goes out and he decides he's going to start a kingdom. with men and wolves. And all his followers decide to borrow. He's like, I'm going to borrow some cows from my brother, the herdsman, and he does. And his followers plow a huge circle that they're going to use as stuff like furrow for the beginning of the walls for the city. His brother then, coming to collect his cows, goes, "Ha! You're going to build a wall from that tiny trench?" And his followers are like, and this I can get you the exact quote.
Oh.
Oh.
I hope.
Oh boy. I love how... I think this has been an hour almost of this, and I don't know if I want it to end.
Make it its own video, it's
You
fine.
do though.
I truly do think we need to give you your own book review show at some point.
I don't read enough
Just
books to
Arthur
get a whole
describes
show.
books to us, for real.
Yeah.
Stop blaming Frog.
Or just like
I'll send you the
general review
novelisation
show
of
of
Revenge of the
stuff.
Sith.
Right.
Like just a general review.
Oh, he was
show
called the
of whatever.
Black Killer.
The Black Killer.
Black Killer. And he was like, the law says another cub's life may be bought. What is it? It leads, I don't know. He says it in the next bit. Alright, the exact quote I actually care about is...
quote of the guy who was like, oh, you don't have to build a wall.
When Frog's people showed him the furrow and told him it was to be their wall, he laughed and jumped over it. And they knew, knowing that small things mocked can never grow large, slew him. Okay.
They just killed him.
They just full killed him.
And
Incredible.
so the prophecy made at the birth of Spring Wind was fulfilled. Because he did not die a child. He died when he was fully grown adult.
Yep.
When Frog
Feels
saw
like
the
a
dead
bit of a
fish, he
stretch.
buried him in the furrow to assure the fertility of the land.
Okay.
That's the end of the story of a boy named Frog.
That's
the end story. That's not an ending.
What do
His
you
brother
mean?
died and he buried him.
Oh.
That's fucking insane. Okay, so I'm guessing.
Definitely in my bottom 8 books humans have ever made.
Yeah, I
right
think-
along there beside Mein Kampf.
It's the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. Come inside, I'll kill you, motherfucker.
Our next story for tonight is Abandoned by Disney. Now, with this one, the page actually has 4 different stories attached to it, but we will only be reading the first one. One of the 4. So, on this page, if we scroll up, you can see here, Room 0, Corruptus, and a few suggestions we will not be reading today.
Maybe another year.
Maybe another year, who knows? I can already feel Arthur dreading it. The only form of fear most of these stories are ever going to elicit.
Wow.
No. Arthur, would you like to start reading? Since you were not here for most of the episode thus far.
That sounds good. Alright, let me sit up.
And get comfy.
Some of you may have heard that the Disney Corporation is responsible for at least one real, live ghost town. Disney built the Treasure Island resort in Baker's Bay in the Bahamas. Didn't start as a ghost town. Disney's cruise ships would actually stop at the resort and leave tourists there to relax in luxury. This is a fact. Look it up. Disney blew $30 million on that place. Yes, $30 million. Then they abandoned it.
Oh,
Disney blamed
he said it. He said it.
Yeah.
Story over, everybody.
No, we're done. We can go home.
Just sentence makes Arthur saying abandoned by Disney out of what he said so far.
I don't know. Maybe I'll figure something. I'll do something.
Abandoned by Disney.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did it.
Yeah, there you go. He did it
Fine,
for
I'll
me.
do it myself.
Fine. I can't wait for the edit. I don't care. Anyway.
Disney blamed the shallow waters too shallow for their ships to safely operate, and there was even blame cast on the workers, saying that since they were from the Bahamas, they were too lazy to work on a regular schedule. That's where the factual nature of their story ends. It wasn't because of sand, and it obviously wasn't because foreigners are lazy, both are convenient excuses. No, I sincerely doubt those reasons were legitimate. Why don't I buy the official story? Because of Mowgli's Palace. Near the beachside city of Emerald Isle in North Carolina, Disney began the construction of Mowgli's Palace in the late 1990s. The concept was a jungle-themed resort with a large, you guessed it, palace in the centre of the whole thing. If you're unfamiliar with the character of Mowgli, then you might better remember the story The Jungle Book. If you haven't seen it anywhere else, you know it as a Disney cartoon from decades past. Mowgli is an abandoned child in the jungle, essentially raised by animals and simultaneously threatened and pursued by other animals. Mowgli's Palace was a controversial undertaking from the start. Disney bought up a ton of high-priced land for the project, and there was actually a scandal surrounding some of the purchases. The local government claimed eminent domain on people's homes and turned around and sold the property to Disney. At one point, a home had just been constructed and was immediately condemned with little to no explanation. The land grabbed by the government was supposedly for some fictional highway project. Knowing full well what was going on, people started calling it the Mickey Mouse Highway. Then there was the concept art. A group of stuffed shirts from Disney Co. actually held a city meeting. They intended to sell everyone on how lucrative this project was going to be for everyone. When they showed the concept art, this gigantic Indian palace surrounded by jungle, staffed with men and women in loincloths and tribal gear. Well, suffice to say, everyone flipped their shit. We're talking about a large Indian palace, jungle, and loincloths, not only in the centre of a relatively wealthy area, but also a somewhat xenophobic area of the southern USA. It was a questionable mix at that point in history. One member of the crowd tried to storm the stage, but he was quickly subdued by security after he managed to break one of the presentation boards over his knee. Disney took that community and essentially broke it over its knee as well. The houses were razed, the land was cleared, and there wasn't a damned thing anyone could say or do about it. Local TV and newspapers were against the resort at the beginning, but some insane connection between Disney's media hostings and the local venues came into play, and their opinions turned on a dime. So anyway, Treasure Island, the Bahamas, Disney sunk millions in and then split. Same thing happened with Mowgli's Palace. Construction was complete. Visitors actually stayed at the resort. The surrounding communities were flooded with traffic and the usual annoyances associated with an influx of lost and irate tourists. Then it all just stopped. Disney shut it down and nobody knew what the hell to think. But they were pretty happy about it. Disney's loss was pretty hilarious and wonderful to a large group of folks who didn't want this in the first place. I honestly didn't give the place another thought since I heard it closed over a decade ago. I lived maybe 4 hours from Emerald Isle, so I only really heard the rumblings and didn't experience any of it firsthand. Then I read this article from someone who had explored Treasure Island's resort and posted a whole blog about it. All the crazy shit he found there. Stuff just left behind. Things smashed, defaced, probably ruined by disgruntled former employees who had lost their jobs. Well, the locals from all around probably had their hand in wrecking that place. People there just felt just as angry about Treasure Island as folks did here about Mowgli's Palace. Plus, there were rumours that Disney had released their aquarium stock into the local waters when they closed, including sharks. Who wouldn't want to take a few swings at some merchandise after that? Well, what I'm getting at is that this blog about Treasure Island got me thinking. Even though many years had passed since its closing, I figured it might be cool to do some urban exploration at Mowgli's Palace. Take some photos, write about my experience, and probably see if there was anything I could take home as a memento. I'm not going to say that I wasted no time in getting there, because honestly it took me another year after I first found that Treasure Island article to get around to going up to Emerald Isle. Over the course of that year, I did a lot of research on Palace Resort, or rather I tried to. Naturally, no official Disney site or resource made any mention of the place. That had been scrubbed clean. Even odder, however, was that nobody before myself had apparently thought to blog about the place or even post a photo. None of the local TV or newspaper sites said one word about the place. That was to be expected, since they'd all swung Disney's way and they wouldn't be out there lauding their embarrassment, you know? Recently, I learned that corporations can actually ask Google, for example, to remove links from search results, basically for no good reason. Looking back, it's probably not that nobody spoke of the resort, but rather their words were made inaccessible. So in the end, I could barely find a place. All I had to go on was an old as hell map I'd received in the mail back in the 90s. It was a promotional item sent out to people who had recently been to Disney World, and I guess I'd been there in the late 80s. That was recent enough. I didn't really intend to hang on to it, just got shoved in with my books and comics from my childhood. I don't remember it months into my research, and even then it took me another few weeks to locate the storage bin my parents had shoved it all into. But I did find it. Locals were no helpers. Most were transplants who had moved to the beach in recent years, or residents who just sneered at me and made rude gestures the second I managed to say, "Where would I find Mowgli's?" The drive took me through an inordinately long corridor of overgrowth, tropical plants that run rampant and overpopulated the area, mixed with the native species of flora that actually belonged there and had tried to reclaim the land. I was in awe when I reached the front gates of the resort. Tremendous, monolithic wooden gates whose supports to either side looked like they must have been cut from giant sequoias. Is that how you pronounce that?
Yep,
Yes,
that's
it
it.
is.
That's it.
That
It's
is
sequoias,
the,
yeah.
That is the.
The gate itself had been gouged in several places by woodpeckers and eaten away at the base by burrowing insects. Hanging on the gate was a sheet of metal, some random scrap with hand-painted letters scrawled in black, "Abandoned by Disney." Clearly the handiwork of some past local or an employee who wanted to make some small protest.
Yeah, we did this joke already. I don't know.
Do we want to?
You did this joke already.
Yeah, do we?
I don't mind.
Up to
I'm
Arthur.
happy to keep going.
Up to you.
I'm happy to keep going. I'm happy to stop.
Okay.
Guess I'll keep going.
Yeah.
The gates were open enough to walk through, but not drive, so grabbing my digital camera and the map, whose flip side showed the layout of the resort, I set off on foot. The inner grounds of the place were just as overgrown as the entryway. Palm trees stood untended and ragged among piles of their own coconuts. Banana plants similarly stood in their own stinking but-ridden refuse. It was this sort of clash between order and chaos. Carefully planted rows of perennial flowers mixed with the obnoxious tall weeds and stinking blackened mushrooms. All that remained of any outdoor structures were broken, rotting wood and various charred bits of undefinable material. What was most likely an information booth or an outdoor bar was now simply a pile of assorted debris chopped up by past vandalism and ravaged by weather. The most interesting thing on the grounds was a statue of Baloo, a friendly bear from Jungle Book, which stood in a sort of courtyard in front of the main building. He was frozen in a jovial wave towards no one, staring into empty space with a silly, toothy grin as bird shit covered whole swaths of his fur and vines and snared his platform. Didn't they say this was in the southern US?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was,
So why is this guy English? My question here is, if this is in the southern US, how'd they get banana plants and coconut trees to grow? And if they did, that's interesting. I don't know. I would assume they don't grow there, because they're definitely not native.
I
planted them
assume
so that
part
it
of it
would
was
resemble the Jungle Book.
Towards the southern end of Florida.
That could happen.
Well, hang on,
okay.
Let me just scroll back.
It was
up. Where
Carolina, I
this?
think.
Was it not?
It
Was it Carolina?
was-
Sorry, I thought it was Florida.
It's Emerald
Hey, I'm
Isle.
check-
That's a
hey,
that's
I'm
a place,
checking.
right? I'll look up
Yeah.
where is Emerald Isle.
Hang on. Might be a fictionalized location.
A bit further up, I think.
Emerald Isle is North Carolina, USA, in Bogue
Yeah.
Banks, forming part of the Crystal Coast. It's
Oh,
a
North
real
Carolina.
place. It's a real place.
Yeah, North Carolina.
It is
Yeah, Emerald Isle,
above.
North Carolina.
It's like near-ish Florida. It's it's North Carolina. I don't know if is that a state, North Carolina?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
it
that's
is.
real.
The Carolinas are
They're two separate
entirely
states.
separate.
It's the
Yeah.
Crystal
North and
Beach.
south.
There's actually you've got cool. That's a thing.
I don't. but you do raise a good
I think you've gone
point
too far.
about
I mean, not to poke holes. I'm just like, is this
No.
also?
No. I think Alex has scrolled down too far. I meant.
But yeah, I'm just wondering. It's like, also he said, when I managed, is this guy not English? That's cool. If this guy's not meant to be an English person and they're like a foreign person going to.
I've got no idea why it took so long to. If it was only like 4 hours out from Emerald Isle, that's not. He apparently lived only 4 hours. 4 hours out.
He just had all the shit to do.
Unless we're talking 4 hours out by boat. I think we might.
No. The thing I'm wondering is if he's not foreign, why did they say like until I managed to stammer out? Where is like?
I'm assuming it's a matter of this guy's just a shut in.
Alright,
I'm just imagining this guy just hasn't left the house in months.
Fair enough.
Pasty boy.
Type of guy who'd walk into a cafe, see a girl in the cafe, and go, "I'm now going to leave. I can't handle that."
The character from what was No End House?
Ah, yes. This is the same main character as Men Whimpering House. Yes.
That was a good episode. Right. Anyway,
That was a good
back
episode.
to
That was a good episode.
back to what we're doing.
Indeed.
I approached the main building, the palace. I need to find the outside of the building covered in graffiti, where the original paint had been peeled and chipped away. The front doors weren't just open; they'd been taken off their hinges and were stolen. Above the front doors of the gaping mall where they'd been, someone had once again painted "Abandoned by Disney."
Yes, bro, we get it. It's the title. We get it, bro.
I wish I could tell you about all the awesome stuff I saw inside the palace. Forgotten statues, abandoned cash registers, a full-fledged secret society of homeless bums. But no. Inside of the building was so stark, so bare that I actually think people had stolen the moulding off of the walls. Anything that was too big to steal, counters, desks, giant fake trees, they were all resting amid this empty echo chamber that amplified by every step of a slow rat-tat-tat of a machine gun. I checked the floor plan and headed to all the locations that might seem in any way interesting. Kitchen was, as you imagine, an industrial food prep area with all the appliances and space, no expenses spared. Every glass surface was broken, every door knocked off its hinges, every metal surface kicked and dented. The entire place smelt like very old piss.
Piss expert.
The huge
This guy
freezer.
knows what piss smells like. This
He's a
guy
pissologist.
can.
He pisses in bottles
Sounds like it.
and
It
ages
smells like
it.
it was 3 years old. No, it was a good summer that year.
They had a good harvest.
Very dehydrated summer that year.
Right. The huge
This is a
freezer,
96 vintage.
not even remotely cool now, had a row upon row of empty shelf space. Hooks hung from the ceiling, probably for hanging cuts of meat. And as I stood inside for a moment, I noticed there was swinging. Each hook swung in a random direction, but their movements were slow and small. It was almost impossible to see. I figured it had been caused by my footsteps, so I stopped one from swinging by clutching it into my fist and carefully let go. In 1 second, it started swinging once more. The bathrooms were in much the same state as the rest of the place. It was like Treasure Island Resort. Someone had methodically smashed each porcelain commode with coconuts and other implements. There was about half an inch of rancid, stinking, stagnant water on the floor, so I didn't stay there very long. I told to the toilets in the sinks, and the bidets in the ladies' room, as I went there. All dripped, or leaked, or just ran freely. It seemed to me that they should have shut off the water long ago.
What a shameless person this is, going into the ladies' room.
How could you? I'm judging this guy now. for reasons. Also, separately, I'm very, just like all of the Smash Loos drip the fuck out. Supreme logos. Supreme logos just plastered on him.
Nice one.
There were plenty of rooms in the resort, but naturally I didn't have time to look through them all. The few I did peer into were similarly wrecked, and I didn't expect to find anything there. I thought there was actually a television or radio in one room, as I think I heard a quiet conversation coming out. It was like a whisper, my own breathing echoing in the silence, or just another case of the sound of flowing water playing tricks on the mind. This is what it sounded like. I'm now going to transcribe the conversation I couldn't hear for you. You can just say you heard people speak. That's allowed. That's a narrative device you can employ.
Who wants to take 1? Who wants to take 2?
Me too.
I'll do 1.
All right.
I didn't believe it.
Love.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Your father told you.
Your father told you? Huh?
Did you hear what I actually said?
No, I didn't actually.
I think I
said
heard
Among Us.
nice. Oh my god. Oh
Wait,
my
what?
He said his short unknown reply was Among Us.
Yeah, it would have been unknown because this was before that came out.
Because Among Us didn't exist.
Poor guy.
Disney predicted Among Us.
What do you mean? What do you mean by Among
Abandoned
Us? I
by
didn't
a
understand
Disney
it.
guy. Got hit by Future Ray.
Yeah.
The entirety of
And of
Among
course
Us beamed straight into
also
his skull.
is also men whimpering house guy.
Yeah.
As I
Yeah,
will
this is
forever
where door
call
number
that
10 led
story. This is just what door number 10 led to. No, because actually, here's the thing. We know it's not No End House Guy because some vaguely spooky shit has happened already, and he hasn't completely fucking collapsed on the floor and lost his mind.
Well, he hasn't been drugged yet.
He hasn't compared
Yeah.
this to Hell 3 times yet.
Well, no, here's the thing. The hooks were
was
the
hell.
hook that started swinging again after being let go. If this was No End House Guy, we'd have gotten 3 paragraphs of how that was the most pant-shittingly, bed-wettingly horrific incident of anybody's life ever.
Yeah, he hasn't given
As I
up 3
whimpered
times yet
like
either.
a man.
Yeah, he hasn't gone, oh, I give up. No, there's mold on the walls. I'm pissing and crying and shitting and also whimpering. It's
I'm covered
awful.
in
I can't go
ants.
on.
So
The bugs are coming.
Some rats were in the walls, and I didn't expect them to be there. So this is just like that story, Rats in the Walls. I'm crying and whimpering again.
Right.
But
I know, that sounds ridiculous. I'm just telling you what I experienced. Well, I thought there might have been something running in that room, or worse, some favourites you would hold up there. Probably would have knifed me. At the front doors of the palace again, I figured I hadn't found anything of note and wasted the trip up. So I looked out the door and noticed something interesting in the courtyard that I apparently missed. Somebody would give me at least one thing to show for my trouble, even if it was just a photograph. It's a lifelike statue of a python, maybe 80 feet long, coiled up and sunning itself on the pedestal right in the centre of the area. It was almost perfect time for the sun to start setting, so the light fell on the object in a perfect way for a photograph. I approached the python and snapped a photo, stood on my toes and snapped another. I moved closer again to get the detail of its face. Slowly, casually, the python lifted its head and looked directly into my eyes, turned and slithered off the pedestal across the grass and into the trees. All 80 feet of it. Took a while. Its head long disappeared into the woods before its tail even left the sunning spot. Disney had released all their exotic animals onto the grounds. Right there on my floor plan map was known as the Reptile House. I should have known. I've read about the sharks at Treasure Isle. I should have known they'd done this. I was dumbfounded, utterly stupefied. My mask must have been hanging over for the longest time before I came back down to earth and snapped it shut. I blinked a few times and backed away from where the snake had been, back toward the palace. Even though it was totally gone, I still wasn't taking any chances and backed my way into that building. Took a few deep breaths and slapped my own face to get my head right again after that. I looked for a place to sit down, as my legs were feeling a bit like jelly at that point. Of course, there was no place to sit down unless I wanted to recline in the broken glass and dead leaf carpet, or haul myself onto a desk of questionable reliability. I'd seen some stairs near the palace's lobby, and decided to go have a seat there until I felt better. The staircase was far enough away from the front of the building to be relatively clean, save for a startling accumulation of dust. Pulled a wedge of metal off the wall and once again painted with the "Abandoned by Disney" motto I'd become accustomed to. Placed a wedge on the stairs and sat on it to keep it at least somewhat clean. Stairway led downward, below ground level. Using my camera flash as a sort of improvised flashlight, I could see the staircase ended in a metal mesh door with a padlock. A sign on the door. A real sign that read, "Mascots only, thank you." Worked on my spirits a little bit, for two reasons. One, a mascots only area would definitely have had some interesting stuff back in the day. Two, the padlock was still in place. Nobody gone down there. Not the vandals, not the looters, nobody.
Do we want to swap narrators at this point? I think we are most of the way through the story, to be fair.
It can't keep getting away with this! It can't
Why
keep
is
getting away!
Why is Joe Swanson saying it?
Peter can't keep getting away with this.
At this point, why isn't Joe saying it?
I don't know. I mean, yeah, that's fair. Anyway, we were. This was the one place.
This was the one place I could actually explore, and perhaps find something interesting to photograph or wantonly steal. I had come to the palace essentially agreeing with myself that it was okay to take anything I wanted because, hey, abandoned.
By Disney.
By Disney.
Yo, same brain.
It didn't take much to bust the lock. Well, that's actually wrong. It didn't take much to bust the metal plate on the wall that the padlock was hooked to. Time and decay had done most of the work for me, and I was able to bend the metal plate enough to pull the screws out of the wall, something nobody else has apparently thought of, or hadn't been able to do at the time. Alright.
We get it, bro.
Mascot.
You're roided.
We get it, you're
And then I punched the King of Space's nose up into his brain because he was jerking off.
He was
Oh,
jerking
God, the King
his
of Space in
tiny
the Mascots only
penis.
room.
He was joking his tiny penis.
God.
The mascots.
Alright.
Yes.
Yes.
Apologies.
The mascots only area was startling and very welcome. Was a startling and very welcome change from the rest of the building I'd seen. For one, every second or third fluorescent light overhead was illuminated, even though they flickered and faded randomly. Also, nothing had been stolen or broken, even if age and exposure were definitely taking their toll. Tables had notepads and pens, there were clocks, even a punch-in clock on the wall complete with filled-out time cards. Chairs were scattered around, and there was even a small break room with an old static-filled television and long rotted-out food and drink on the counters. It was like one of those post-apocalypse movies where everything is left in the state of evacuation. As I walked the maze-like sub-basement hallways of the Mascots only area, the sights just became more and more interesting. As I went further, desks and tables were knocked over, papers scattered and almost melded with the damp floor, and a large carpet of mould was slowly overtaking the real rotting crimson floor covering. Everything was just sort of squishy. Anything would disintegrate into mush when I applied even the least amount of force, and clothing items hanging on hooks in one of the rooms simply fell to moist threads if I tried to unhook them. One thing that annoyed me was that the light was becoming more sparse and unreliable as I went further into the dank, suffocating depths of the place. Eventually,
Nice to eat cold pasta too.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
Yeah. Oops. Sorry.
I mean, yeah.
It ain't your fault. It was fucking abandoned by Disney guys' fault.
Slime Beast.
How dare you
Slime
write
Beast.
creepypasta?
Slime Beast.
I mean,
When
it's
I
called
get
the
you.
Creepypasta. Guys, it's called the Creepypasta. You should be able to eat pasta to it.
It's
For
true.
real.
Slime Beast. When I get you.
I ate pasta before it, is the thing, though.
That's fair. That's fair. Wise.
I know a
Not
thing or
sure.
two about a slimy beast. I met the King of Space.
He was joking it.
Right?
No, actually, I know the thing or two about a slimy beast. He killed and ate that wizard.
Yeah. Just showed up, killed and ate a wizard. Refused to elaborate. Left.
Disappeared.
For real. The fuck? Eventually I reached a yellow and black striped door with with the words Character Prep 1 stenciled on it. The door wouldn't open at first. I figured this was probably where the costumes were kept, and I definitely wanted a photograph of that twisted, stinking mess. Try as I might, whatever angle or trick I tried, the door wouldn't budge. That is, until I gave up and started to walk away. That was when there was a slight popping sound and the door creaked open slowly.
That's convenient.
Inside, the room was completely dark, pitch black. I used the camera flash to look for a light switch on the wall by the door, but there was nothing. As I made my search, I was jarred out of my sense of excitement by a loud electrical buzz. Rows of lights overhead suddenly flashed a light, flickering and fading in and out like the rest I passed. It took a second for my eyes to adjust, and it seemed like the light was going to just keep getting brighter until all the bulbs exploded. But just when I thought it would reach that critical stage, the lights dimmed a bit and steadied. The room was exactly as I'd pictured it. Various Disney costumes hung on the walls, fully put together like strange cartoon cadavers hung from invisible nooses. There was an entire lack of loincloths and native clothes on hangers towards them. Oh, sorry, there was an entire rack,
Yeah,
not rack.
you said lack, yeah.
Shit.
Quite the opposite.
I noticed a severe
I noticed that there was a lack of the things that were
loincloths and native clothes.
And they were on hangers.
Like rats on the walls.
Why are the rats on hangers?
On hangers?
Why are they on hangers? Who's hanging the
Blackpool
rats?
Public hanging is back. Fuck. Not
Public
Blackpool
rang.
Public hanging.
Public rang me when I go to Australia.
No, not the public ranging in Australia. Oh. All these rats.
Throwing
What I
boomerangs
found
and
was-
shit.
What I found odd and what I wanted to photograph right away was a Mickey Mouse costume at the center of the room. Unlike the other costumes, it was lying on its back in the center of the floor like a murder victim. The fur on the costume was rotten and shedding, creating bare patches. What was even odder, however, was the colouring of the costume. It was like a photo negative of the actual Mickey Mouse. Black where he should be white, white where he should be black. His normally red overalls were light blue. The sight was off-putting enough that I actually put off photographing the thing until last.
That wasn't Mickey Mouse, it was some Mickey.
I took a picture of the costumes hanging on the walls, upward angles, downward angles, side shots to show an entire row of frozen, putrid cartoon faces, some with plastic eyes missing. Then I decided to stage a shot. One of the bedraggled characters' heads on the slick, grimy floor. I reached for the headpiece of Donald Duck's costume and carefully removed it so the thing wouldn't fall out of my hands. Wouldn't fall apart in my hands. As I looked into the face of the wide-eyed and wandering head, a loud clattering sound made me jump with fright. I looked down at my feet, and there, between my shoes, was a human skull. It had fallen out of the mascot head and shattered to pieces at me feet.
It shattered to pieces at me
Shut the
feet.
pieces at me feet!
God blimey.
God, that kind of...
That
Way
kinda
to
took me
break the
out.
tension there.
Yeah, that's
Because I
love
was
how-
about to say,
I
oh my
do
god,
love-
he figured out the missing children
Like, I've
incident.
noticed a couple typos in this, and
Yeah.
like, I haven't mentioned them.
But
just
that
because-
one is fucking come on. Like, I love how up until this point, it's actually been like, I wouldn't say necessarily, like, really suspenseful, but at the very least it's carried, like, a solid, like, this is...
Yeah, it's been realistic enough.
It's been pretty spooky, but now we've got,
It's got bones.
We've
and I
got
like bones.
Earth 3 Mickey and the skull in the fucking Donald head.
Oh my god.
He knew the parents would scream and the police would go looking, and he knew there was one place they
Spooky,
never looked
scary
because
skeletons.
why would they?
Only the empty face and lower jaw remained, staring up at me. I dropped the duck head immediately, as you'd expect, and moved to... of course, as we fully expect.
Oh yes, of course, just drop the duck.
No,
Yeah,
I mean,
just-
to be fair, if a human skull fell out of a mascot head, I'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
No, that's not what I'm pushing back on. It's just as you'd expect, it just adds a little... It's like a...
It's like we-
Yeah, no,
Like,
that's,
it's
that's
like-
non-intuitive
takes away
language.
some of
Bro,
the
we-
intensity of the
It's very
situation by
much-
being
It's not even
presumptuous.
non-intuitive. It's not even non-intuitive. It's like we have well and truly entered the spooky, scary part of the story, and
it's kind of
the author's
delegitimizing
still
it.
snarking all over the place. It's
Yeah.
like, this is why we don't write horror stories with Sonic the Hedgehog in them. They're not scary anymore.
I would say the idea of a human head falling out of a thing, that's cool. You know what? Shit. Negative Mickey Mouse. Why did
Yeah.
you add that?
Yeah.
just you wait, Arthur.
Just you wait, I know what happened.
We're gonna get to the most famous part or infamous part of this story.
Please
As I
continue.
stood in, I moved for the door. As I stood in the doorway, I looked back to the skull on the floor. I had to take a picture of it, I had to. For any number of reasons that may seem silly, but only if you didn't think it through. I'd need proof of what happened, especially if Disney was going to somehow make this go away. I had no doubt in my mind, right from the start, that even if it was just gross negligence, Disney was responsible for this. That's when Mickey, the photo negative, opposite Mickey in the middle of the floor, started to get up. First sitting up, and then climbing to its feet. The Mickey costume, or whoever was inside it, stood there at the center of the room. Its fake face starting
directly at me.
Yeah. Don't get me started.
As I mumbled, no. Over and over and over. With shaking hands, a violent thrashing heart, and legs that had once again turned to jelly, I'd managed to lift the camera and aim it at the opposite creature, now quietly sizing me up. The digital camera's screen displayed only dead pixels in the shape of the thing. It was a perfect silhouette of the Mickey costume. As the camera moved in my unsteady hands, the dead pixels spread, marring the screen wherever Mickey's outline moved to.
That's the worst fucking image I've ever seen.
Yeah,
no.
that image doesn't even reflect what's being described in the story. That just looks like you've photoshopped together an image of Mickey Mouse in a creepy room and then reverse negative the colours.
It's
that pose.
You've got stock.
That pose is
You've
not
got
of the
an
thing
image of a
sizing
Mickey
you up.
Mouse.
That
costume.
is a mascot standee.
Stock image of a mascot standee. Stock image of spookymoldroom.jpg. Color reverse the mascot image. That's how you make it.
Profit?
Like
And
that thing is not about to attack you. That is a standing still statue.
Guys,
Yeah.
it gets sillier. June, please continue.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah.
It gets sillier.
Then the camera died, went blank and quiet and broken. I raised my eyes once again to the Mickey Mouse costume.
May I take the voice of the Mickey costume?
Oh, go right ahead.
Yes, you may.
Hey!
It said in a hushed, perverted, but perfectly executed Mickey Mouse voice. Fucking perverted.
He was joking it like licking his face.
Hey!
That's I think that's a big
It's me, Mickey Mouse! I'm straight jogging it right now!
No, that's Baby! That's Baby from Dimension 20 again! Anyway, you would finish the line in between the vocals, yeah?
Yeah.
Want to see my head come off?
It started to pull at its own head, working its clumsy, glove-clad fingers around its neck with clawing, impatient movements, similar to a wounded man trying to pull himself free from a predator's jaws. As it worked its digits into its neck, so much blood. So much thick, chunky yellow blood. I turned away as I heard a sickening,
It's custard all the way down.
Cloth and flesh. Only cared about getting away. Above the doorway out of this room, I saw the final message clawed into the metal, bone or fingernails. Abandoned by God.
Hang on. Let's round it out before we get
I
our
never
comments
got
in.
the pictures out of the camera. I never wrote the blog entry about it. I ran from that place, fled for my sanity, if not my very life. I knew why Disney didn't want anyone to know about this place. They didn't want anyone like me getting in. They didn't want anything like that getting out.
And yet the lock on it was so flimsy that you could get rid of it.
So, what do we think? What do we think of Abandoned by Disney, folks? Let's let Mason and Arthur. Let's let Mason and Arthur get their thoughts in first, since this is their first time with it.
I think about 80% of it was like decent, and then the last 20% was like, what the fuck?
It was really good until the guys tried to be scary, and then it was the worst piece of dog shit anyone's ever written ever. Good job, fucking idiot.
It was
Fucking idiot.
okay.
Yeah.
I think, for me, literally up until Photonegative Mickey, up until that exact moment,
Reverse Mickey.
everything was pretty solid, you know? Maybe not super scary, but at the very least, like,
It was
good,
interesting
like,
to hear about.
if it weren't, like, attempting to
You know, the
be
Python
scary
monkey was
internet
pretty
horror
cool.
story, if it was, like, attempting to be, like a fictionalized urban exploration thing, that would kind of go, it would kind of been pretty fucking solid for that, you know?
Yeah, I was going to say that. Like,
And then anti-Mickey
all
appears.
all of the stuff before the mascot area, I thought was great. I thought was great in the sense of, like, Urbex type stuff.
Yeah.
Because that stuff's, it's interesting.
For, like, an Urbex story that's not meant to be, like, oh, really scary, spooky internet horror, it was pretty fucking solid, you know? Not
The
particularly
biggest
scary,
letdown
but solid in
is-
terms of narration.
The biggest letdown is it builds and it builds and it builds and it builds.
And then the payoff is Photonegative Mickey. Want to see my head come off? Abandoned by God! Junky yellow custard!
Oh, not the... Ugh.
Fuck you, custard
Okay.
blood!
It's a shame.
Bro Red King Crimson versus Metallica one time.
What? Once.
Yeah.
Now, I will say, this is by Slime Beast, obviously.
Who's Slime Beast?
Slime Beast, I was about to get into that. Good, thank you for asking, Arthur.
Now that's how we do segues out here.
Well,
Perfect
audience.
fucking segue. Slime Beast he's known for making creepypastas. Like, he wrote quite a
It's
few.
not the thing you want to be known for. Unless they're good.
You ain't, I'm not
Which
gonna
they
lie,
are.
you ain't wrong.
You
I'm gonna, like-
are not wrong.
I was a bit harsh. There's just there was some really good setup there. That snake boot was kind of fine. And some of the writing was
I agree.
okay. Some of it was
And
good.
then.
Some of it was fine.
And then
You are not allowed to write anymore. Actually, if you've ever written that, you're not allowed. You're not allowed to attempt horror anymore. If you think
It's the horror equivalent. It's the horror
negative
equivalent.
Mickey Mouse. Oh my God.
I will quickly,
What?
before you get into it,
Fuck
June,
you.
I will have you know he has written multiple books.
it is like the...
For the detriment
it is like
of the human
horror-
race.
It is like the horror equivalent of doing a joke with with like 5 minutes of build up, and it's like, the build up on its own is pretty solid. It's pretty fun, and you're telling this joke and you're telling this joke, and it's a whole lot of setup, and then your punchline is to get to the other side.
Yeah.
And it's like, what are you doing? What happened? I need you to reconsider your life choices that led you to this moment.
It's like Slime Beast. I would say he is a prolific in how much like creepypasta stuff he's written, because he's also the same guy behind fucking I Hate You.
Yeah, which I think if we do this again another year, that's gotta be on there. Admittedly, I Hate You was apparently a fully intentional joke. Unfortunately, it was taken as fully serious and on the same level as The Greats by the creepypasta fandom, which really is an indictment of the quality of creepypastas as a whole.
And
That's something that was intentionally meant to be dog shit.
And there's one more Slime Beast creepypasta that we will be reading for this series this year.
Indeed, but we shan't spoil it because it's not happening.
That's coming next episode. And let me tell you, Arthur, if you didn't like this and thought you shouldn't write any more after that,
you're going to agree with yourself again.
You're going.
I can almost guarantee you're going to go, yep, I was absolutely correct the first time.
Like, is this guy a good author? Am I just mean? If this was meant to be dog shit, is this an individual who can write?
This wasn't meant to be dog shit. A different one of the stories was meant to be dog shit. This was an actual serious attempt. No.
This was
I Hate You was supposed to be a meme, and people took it seriously.
Yeah, people
So I
remember
was like, this was meant to be dog shit? I was like half listening and I went, this was meant to be dog shit? Nice! This person might be a good author.
No, this was serious.
No,
this
false hope. False hope. My bad.
And he has,
that's rough.
As you can see, he expanded on it further with 4 more.
Well,
with, like,
3
3
more
parts.
One of them was a fucking prequel, if you remember.
Yes, it is.
We've got 2 sequels and a fucking prequel. Motherfucker calling in reverse Five Nights at Freddy's.
Funny you mentioned Five Nights at Freddy's, because I'm gonna get into the next bit I wanted to talk about.
Please do.
Abandoned by
I think I know what
argue.
I think I know what you're about
at
to
this
mention.
point. The thing that people probably know Abandoned by Disney more for at this point is Five Nights at Treasure Island.
That's the
Which
fucker.
What?
Is certainly a Five Nights at Freddy's fan game. Or at least the first one is. The second one is actually not awful.
Yeah, the remake is actually pretty... I think... Because a lot of my interaction with Five Nights at Freddy's at this point usually comes in terms of max mode challenges.
Yeah.
You know, I like watching those because it's like, this is something I absolutely could never actually do. The skill it required to do these is legitimately very impressive. And I believe the remake's hardest mode is, or was, very high up on the list in terms of difficulty.
See,
If
the
I'm
thing
not
is,
mistaken. Been a while.
Five Nights at
So I'm
Treasure
just
Island. I
cracking
think
my
the only
knuckles
reason
to get
it
ready to beat the
is-
shit out of this.
Damn!
I think the only reason it was ever notable was because it was one of the first Five Nights at Freddy's fan games.
Yeah, and I think
that,
it was the
widely
first that
covered.
wasn't... I think it was the first that wasn't Five Nights at Freddy's 3 fan-made. Ugh. I think it was it was the first big one that didn't just reuse a shit ton of assets from the main games.
I think this picture from a thumbnail showing all of the jump scares from that game, from the non-remake version of the game, fully just...
Yeah,
Oh,
that's,
so scary.
what we were dealing with.
Yeah, that really, drink it all in.
That's like an ultimate custom night jump scare.
Drink it all in, folks. I didn't see this before, but the Headless Goofy is fully hitting the Mr. Bank!
Mr. Beast!
Missed.
But yeah,
Beast.
I guess that's Abandoned by Disney. That's everything I wanted to
Indeed.
talk
And
Abandoned by the writer.
abandoned by the right. Well, clearly not, because we've got
Abandoned
all
by
of
God.
this that's in here. Like,
I'd
all of
also
that
meant the
shit.
quality of the story was abandoned by the writer.
God.
That is
In the
fair
last
assessment.
20%.
There's one thing about Slime Beast that
I'll just scroll up so photo negative Mickey's on the screen. Just a fucking why not?
Looks like he's going.
Yeah, there's only one thing I'll say about Slime Beast that I actually full on like the guy for, and that's him dogging on the guy who reacts to gore on YouTube.
Yeah.
Reasonable.
You know what? I don't know if I hate you as a person. I might. It's your fault. You did make this.
You did make Abandoned by Disney.
It's not like I'm
So,
just saying. I'm
Fair
just
cop
saying,
to
like,
us for not. Fair cop to us for assuming we wouldn't really like you.
But like, look, I'm sure you're a wonderful person. I'm sure outside of writing horror, you've got a lot going for you.
But
That
please,
you
for the love of
pursued
God,
this as a
take your
career
fingers off
and
the
wrote
keyboard.
multiple works.
I beg
I
you.
hope you improved a lot from here. A lot.
I couldn't tell you.
I hope. And if you did, I'm real
Right.
proud of you because you started low.
That is damning with faint praise. Damn, you've grown and developed a whole lot. Like, you managed to reach the bar of 7 out of 10. That's impressive from where you started.
No, I don't watch Slime Beast, so I don't even know what his content is.
I don't know who this is.
Because I know
don't
he's on
anything
YouTube.
about this
I don't
guy. Well, this is the worst piece of dog shit I've ever read. Fuck you.
You are gonna be saying this quite a bit, I fear.
I love your vitriol, Arthur.
I hate this. There's something about There's something about media that makes me commit my time solely to it that I can't forgive being bad. Like, I get it. Not everybody is going to make a masterpiece, and sometimes people are just making shit. And it's wonderful that art is out there for people to make. I hate you. I hate you. What you've made angers me. Why did you?
Next year we
what point in your life?
Read I Hate You. We have to read I Hate You next time.
What things in your life led you to be like? How? Why did you go? I know what'll get him. Mickey Mouse. Take his head off.
Reverse Mickey Mouse.
Reverse
taking his
Mickey
head off.
Mouse. Taking his head off.
You missed
it
the
was
most
some-
essential
Blood
part.
comes out. I just. You know what would have been a great ending to this? If there was a murderer. Or if there were dead people in those suits and it was animals that killed them. The jungle animals killed the people and Disney was covering it up. But
Yeah,
no.
like the python or the
No.
sharks. Like, kind of like was being set up by the story.
But what you didn't know is when main character guy ran away, Mickey removed his head and inside there was a bear.
It's got the
It was Baloo the
It
whole
was
time.
all along.
No, just like that's such. This could be fine.
was
This
the bad
could be
guy.
really passable if that were the ending.
Shake hands with the thing
Instead,
I
you
love-
killed yourself. You killed you do it to yourself. You do, and that's what
Sometimes-
really hurts.
Sometimes it be your own.
In the
damn
words
self.
of Radiohead.
Sometimes it be
Like,
your own damn self.
I don't get it. How do you fuck it? Photo negative Mickey Mouse.
But do we have any other thoughts, Mason, June, on the other 3 stories? Because Arthur, unfortunately, was not here.
what were
Nothing
the
to
other 3?
add from what I said
I don't
previously
remember.
about them.
Yeah,
that's fair.
I remember the terrible one. I don't even remember what the other 2 were.
That is fair. Well,
Sonic Death Game is funny because
Oh yeah, that was funny because it was shit.
that was funny.
and
because
also,
it's just
I think Arthur would have been chill with Sonic Death Game because it was like 4 paragraphs.
It was
Yeah, that's
4
fine.
paragraphs, and
It
I'm
was a
half
short. It
convinced
was
it's
short.
a
It was
full-on
shit. It was
troll.
probably done intentionally.
What was the third one? Oh yeah, the username 666.
Username
Yeah, that one was
666,
creepy.
That was alright.
It was fine. It could have done without the mentions of gore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or whatever it was.
Yeah.
The image,
like gore.
more like the original video. The
I guess I'm
screenshot
kind of
from that was
fucked up
creepy.
like that.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
see my
Squidward
mom's head
suicide.
explode.
And Squidward Suicide, the author of that,
Yeah,
I
no.
do hope is burning somewhere.
that one gets a no.
Yeah.
Wait for Alex to look back in the edit at what I said there. I think it
Yeah,
was
I'll figure it out.
completely drowned out by everybody else.
I heard what you said, Arthur. I heard what you said in your
Yeah.
Deku voice.
Yeah, it was
I'll
good.
hear
I
it.
like that.
I'll hear it in
I
the
like
edit.
it.
I'll figure
It's
it out.
funny. It's a good one. So that's a good bit.
Alright, shall we wrap
But
this
yeah.
up?
I believe we shall.
Yeah.
So, if you
Gun
like
to your
this
head,
video-
I couldn't name a good creepypasta. Candle Cove. I
Wait,
did
gun
it.
to. Okay, I was about to say gun to my
Well,
head.
there you go then. Put the
Gun
gun
to
away.
You're
my
safe.
head, but also I'm fine. Yeah, because Candle Cove exists.
Gun
Yeah.
to my head, I couldn't name a second good creepypasta.
Well, we've got 12 more to read this very year.
And I
Maybe one of
think
them will be good.
maybe one might be a contender. I don't think you're gonna hear him for a while, but maybe one.
They're gonna put
Maybe.
a bullet through my head.
Yeah, probably. But
Mickey Mouse.
we'll yeah, we are gonna do the outro now. If you like this video, hit that like button. If you very much like this video and want to see more like it, hit that subscribe button. We upload episodes of our main series, Reading Homestuck, every Monday or Tuesday, depending on our time zone. And we upload other things on Thursdays or Fridays, again, depending on our time zone. Other things such as, well, this. We're going to be doing this for the entire month of October. And just to let Mason and Arthur know, because Mason wasn't here when I decided this and Arthur wasn't even in that video, I've decided I'm going to truncate the outro, so I'm not going to, plug all of our series, just whatever we're doing at that moment, at that time, what's in progress at that particular time of upload.
Yeah, cool.
But yes, you can also follow me on Tumblr and on Blue Sky. On Tumblr, I post some things I make for some of these videos, which I do sometimes. You can also send me asks, send me DMs, send me whatsoever you choose on either of those platforms. YouTube does sometimes eat your comments, which is very frustrating for all involved. So if that happens, you can send what you wanted to say over to me on one of those places, and I'll actually be able to see it. You can also follow June on Tumblr, Blue Sky, and on Instagram. June?
Yeah, you can follow me in places. Sometimes things happen.
Nice. Nice. And you can also follow Arthur on Twitch. Arthur.
Twitch.tv/PENNEDRAIG. That's Pendraig. I just bought Deltarune, so I will be streaming it. I was going to do some tonight, but then we were recording, so I'll do some tomorrow. Maybe. No, not tomorrow. I'm out playing Magic the Gathering. I'll do
On a day.
It'll be at some point. I'm going to start streaming it. I'm excited. Chapter 3. Woo! It's exciting.
Indeed.
Yeah. Well, I got to plug the time. Starting between like 6 and 8 Greenwich Meridian times.
Yeah.
I don't really have a time or a day. I just kind of do it whenever. If you see me online, that's cool. Like, it's not a big thing. It's just a side fun thing I'm doing. If you turn up, that will be wonderful. I'm really loving meeting random people through it, but it really, I like just looking at myself, really honestly, in a webcam. I'm real easy to please. I just make funny faces at myself in the webcam and make jokes that make me laugh. I'm my own biggest fan. So yeah.
Hell yeah. I think
feel like turning up to that.
Something we should all aspire to, I think.
Sure, yeah.
Indeed. And Mason, do you have anything you wish to say at the end of this here episode of Reading Creepypasta?
I wanted to say thank you all so much for watching. We love making these. We hope you enjoy watching them. More creepypastas coming, and it's very
Pinky
frightening.
spaghetti.
I'm definitely going to have to sleep with the lights on tonight.
Is it now? Hang on.
No, that was terrifying because I wasn't expecting it. Arthur just turned his camera on and started pleading silently.
You have anything else you want to say, Mason?
No, I was legitimately ever so slightly startled by that. Nah, that will be all. And he's gone.
And he's gone. Well, I guess we'll see you in the next video. See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye.